Start us off, Jesse.
All right. Well, we got a special guest today, Mr. Stephen DeMatties from Central Florida, and he is a paramedic firefighter. And we're going to be talking about some cool shit that he does. And I guess he didn't need to even introduce himself, but go ahead, introduce yourself, anyways.
But no, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, name's Steven, from Central Florida. Been living there pretty much my entire life, but I've been working in the medical field for about 7 years now, and seen a lot of things, learned a lot of things, talked with some big people, especially in my area, and just happy to talk about some of the things we're going to talk about today. No doubt.
Yeah, so we're planning on diving into a little bit of the COVID talk because he's a paramedic firefighter and he sees a lot of stuff that has to do with the whole pandemic and yeah, I mean it's a crazy situation we're in now, especially with the variant popping up, and it kind of gives you like it makes everybody uneasy because like, oh, here we go again, you
Oh,
know.
dude, I mean it's like a everyday kind of thing. It's like when you walk into work, it's like either are we gonna either talk about the vaccine, talk about COVID, or like, or even like what is the future of medicine from here? Because it's COVID's kind of changed some things. It's definitely like made an impact on the industry, just how people, I guess, think, like people weren't really like the mask thing per se, like there's even some hospitals where you can't even come inside, um can't even bring patients in, unless they have a mask on. But there's some medical things, that we have to do to help people, and it's like a hindrance in a way, and it's kind of annoying. But you could just see like the change, the standpoint, of what how people are thinking, they're kind of like in fear a lot, I think.
Oh
And
yeah,
I mean, you could see it worldwide, but
supposedly,
yeah,
you never
yeah.
know.
I mean, you'll see, vaccinated workers and stuff, you know, going around, wearing masks. I don't know if it's like a theater thing, which it might be, but
Hmm.
it's
Well,
Oh, do
definitely.
they
go ahead, Jesse.
do they mandate? Were they going to mandate the vaccines for the firefighters and paramedics and EMTs
It
in
was.
Florida?
I know there's a big department in Central Florida that's fighting it. A really, really big department. But they're kind of like the uh not experiment, but they're like the trial that's kind of going on right now, and like other departments are, watching it happen, seeing what the outcome is and everything. Because there's unions that are fighting against um, a bunch of things that are changing in the medical field, just so people can, hopefully keep their jobs and stuff.
You get something to say, Devin? No, negative. All
The
right,
worst
yeah.
Is
time.
is
The
that a
worst.
Marvel character hat? Is that a Marvel
Yeah,
character?
you had the worst timing. I'm taking a dab. Um, I was just gonna say that being from New York, they mandate masks just about everywhere, even when you have the vaccine. I
Yeah.
mean, they say that they don't, but like they do. It's kind
Right,
of.
right.
And then like you go into certain places and you still definitely have to wear a mask. There. And
Yeah, they got
Right.
the people mandating it for them.
yeah,
It's everywhere, man. I mean, the mask frenzy, whatever you want to call it. It's global, it's everywhere. It's
and I know.
I don't
I,
it's never going away either.
yeah,
I don't think so.
that's the new norm.
No,
All
for
right.
sure. For sure.
um,
You know.
but I know that they're mandating vaccines for just about every employee. I think it's any company with 100 or more employees has to mandate vaccines to their employees.
Didn't they just
Yeah.
throw that out in court? Wasn't
I
that
think
a
I think it's like a postpone, or it's
Not
like
in New
a
York State.
it's
Yeah,
like
they ain't gonna tell you that.
That's a federal mask.
right.
That's a federal vaccine mandate.
Oh, okay,
A
okay, I
lot
gotcha.
different
Yeah.
than a state vaccine
Hmm,
mandate.
makes
The
sense.
state
That
actually
makes
has a
sense.
lot more power than the federal government when it comes to locality and law.
No doubt. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's why at least my governor DeSantis, he's been putting a lot of legislation that's been blocking a lot of the tyranny. It's all tyranny. it's it's
Yeah.
fun. What's funny is like you'll look up the definitions of certain words when it comes to government. Socialism and tyranny and things like that, and you could see a lot what's going on today. I mean, kind of defines those words in real life. What I mean, that's how I see it.
Well, yeah,
But
when you decide to try to literally force hundreds of millions of people, I mean, really the world, you try to force the world take a medical procedure, and something that's never been used before. So
no
you could
doubt.
call that experimental.
Well,
It's like we're in the fucking Twilight Zone.
it just
Well,
seems
what's
like.
that?
Oh, you go ahead.
Go. So what's that trial that or what is it? It's the came out of Nuremberg, the
Hmm.
Nuremberg Code,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
there needs to be something more than like an implied consent. They're using, and a lot of people can use fear as like implied consent. Like
Scare tactics.
if
Yeah.
I show up on scene and someone is scared about their medical condition, like it's enough for me to like touch the patient and get vital signs and do all this stuff, like without their
Consent. Right.
actual verbal consent. Like there's
Yeah.
different types of consent. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, go ahead, brother.
I lost it, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Uh,
I have a very short,
dang, it was
very
good.
short memory when it
He's like,
comes
hold on, I'm hitting a dab
No,
real quick.
yeah, I guess a
uh,
good question to ask from the topic is, like, do the masks work? Do they do they work? I mean,
I would.
we're looking at what is taking place like on a real time, scale, and we are the ones observing in this experiment. I mean, that's it. That's the truth. Like
Yeah.
we're watching, at least me, like especially like, being first contact on a lot of things, we are seeing, this play out, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
um
As far as you saying, sorry to interrupt you. As far as you
oh, you're
saying,
good.
do masks work? It's like if you think about it, yeah, they're applicable, especially surgical masks during surgery. They're applicable because they do stop droplets. I would assume so, anyways. But the amount of how infectious this virus is, how infectious a
Mhm.
cold is, or a coronavirus in general, it's gonna spread so
Absolutely.
rapidly to
Absolutely. I
everyone.
mean,
I mean,
it's
you
an
can't just
aerosol. It's aerosoled in that's the main way it's transmitted. And I guess an example I use at work too to try and get people to understand like what aerosol means, because a lot of people might just think it's droplet and they might think like that's the last, or most contagious way of how to like contract something. But aerosol is like if you were to put a mask on and we're in the same room but you're smoking a cigarette on the other side, and I could smell it.
right.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's in
Yeah.
the air, it's in the ventilation, and
Yeah.
it's all due to, it all, I believe it all comes down to like what's the size of the particle now, because we're aerosol is particles. That's what we're breathing in. Droplets is like a liquid form that's kind of, inhaled. But when you look at the size of the organism, the average size of the coronavirus is 60 nanometers, and your mask can only provide up to protection of a droplet up to 100 nanometers. So when you logically are looking at that, to me, it just doesn't make any sense personally. And this is talking about like you're wearing the mask perfectly. The efficacy of it is within its 20-minute duration until it loses it, because when you break it out of a seal, or even if it's just laying out on the dashboard of, the EMS ambulance, pretty much. You
Right.
grab it, you wear it, it's exposed for 20 minutes already. It's out of the package and it's exposed to heat. And those fabrics are gonna start to like, expand and widen and open up. And it's not gonna be like as if you just got it brand new. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
facts. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I have people in the casino all the time. I walk in, they're like, here's a mask out of my fucking pocket here. And I'm like, thanks. And I just put it in my pocket and walk away.
yeah, I mean,
Disgusting.
even and people will wear it. You know, they'll wear the cloth masks and everything. And I
That's
mean,
all I
we've even
see.
had yeah, and
Bandanas.
we've had like big officials, like global officials, even say for mainstream media that don't work. So
Theater, right? Like you said.
yeah, yeah,
They said that in the beginning. It's theatrical purposes,
no doubt.
all politics, right?
Yeah.
But,
Um, and
you know,
I know another big story that kind of hit that I don't know if a lot of people heard of, but it's the most vaccinated place in the world is a place called Gibraltar, and it's over in the seas in the British area, and they are like I think they're 117% vaccinated. So the way I was like, what the hell does that mean? But anyways, it means that also the people that come over there for work, travel, internationally or whatever for work, they're vaccinated. They have to be vaccinated, so they count those people plus on top of their population. But anyways, their government is they've announced that they're going to cancel Christmas because they're having a huge spike in COVID cases.
so
And
they're
so,
117%. Like they're over 100% vaccinated, but yet still people are getting sick, and a lot of people probably if they're gonna
oh
fucking
yes,
cancel this.
I mean, it's not on the mainstream news, obviously, but
No, it never is.
we can see the trends that are taking place, with the countries and unions and nations that are ahead of us. There's a few people that are ahead of us. There's Australia's ahead of us. Israel's ahead of us. The European Union's ahead of us. Like they're on their boosters. They've been on their boosters and stuff like this. Um,
As far as percentage of the country,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
yeah, we got a lot of stubborn
It was
motherfuckers over
it was
here.
just funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No doubt.
yeah. I mean,
You know,
we got whole
you know,
whole states the size of countries over here refusing to do that.
Right.
exactly. Yeah, mostly anyway, right? I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
I mean, I'm not
Right.
saying it's not a good thing. I'm just
Right.
saying.
No, yeah, we're some stubborn motherfuckers. We're not just gonna lay down and go here. There's
Sticky
other
with it.
countries like that too. Yeah, here you
Right.
go. Yeah, I'll listen to everything you got to say. We have marches and shit. Other places do too. Australia has their well, they just declared protest illegal in Australia, so
Well,
you
yeah,
can't
you can catch
protest.
COVID outside if you're protesting. I mean.
Yeah, I mean you can. Yeah, if someone coughs in your face and you're in a protest, you're probably gonna get it if you haven't had it. So
Yeah.
you know. And then, well, the good thing about this whole variant deal coming up is that the articles that I read, which is probably bullshit, who knows? And actually, Devin sent them to me.
But
It's pretty mild. It's pretty mild, right? It's not. They're saying it's like, oh, the symptoms are unusual, but all the symptoms are mild. Everything's mild, which is, it's so weird. It's just odd. Like, first of all, how do you have people come in and go, okay, I have very similar symptoms as COVID, but they're mild, and then they somehow find this variant. How do you find a variant in mild cases? You know what I mean? How do you decide to go, okay, let's test their blood and find another virus? I don't
Well,
get
then
how
you
that's
got
happening.
Fauci talking about how we need to take it very seriously, and it's gonna be this
Yes.
new thing.
So,
And
Yeah.
um, I, go ahead, brother. My bad.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Speak.
So I have the answer to your question. I
Okay.
have
How'd
the
they find it?
I have the answer. Yes. So this is on the World Health Organization. Okay.
Hmm?
I guess we can take this with a grain of salt. All of this
Yeah.
shit.
All right. Yeah.
because nobody knows shit about anything about
Every
this.
single fucking thing I'm about to read, just listen to it and kind of just tell me what you think. Okay.
All right.
So this is on the WHO website, and it says classification of Omicron B.1.1.529.
Awesome
Um,
name.
right.
Omicron variant.
SARS-CoV-2 variant of concern, and it says here that this was published on November 26th, right? So yesterday. The Technical Advisory Group of SARS-CoV-2 Virus Evolution, or TAG-VE, is an independent group of experts that periodically monitors and evaluates the evolution of SARS-CoV-2 and assesses if specific mutations and combinations of mutations alter the behavior of the virus. The TAG-V group was convened on November 26th to assess SARS-CoV-2 variant 115929. So this group is the group that they're stating is securitizing, this global event, and that they are, I guess, kind of the way I see it is maybe they're taking these test subjects or whatever it is, these PCR tests or whatever it is. And they're taking these test samples. They're samples. That's a better word, not subjects.
Test
I
subjects.
mean, maybe. I
But,
mean, technically,
and what I'm
maybe if
what,
you think
what I'm
about it.
thinking, first of all, this means that our DNA is already being already put away in
Altered.
some database already, because this group's examining every test. I'm assuming from it's like a pyramid scheme, like information gets tracked back up to them by chain of command in a way.
Right, it makes sense,
And,
yeah.
and I'm wondering if they just break down the genome and they just kind of see, the codes and see if there's anything that's been
But how do they?
anything new,
I
I
just,
don't
I
know.
just,
I don't know. And I don't even know, because look, it says,
it's
group
just
of
like,
experts, I mean, I don't even, I can look into it more, get maybe some more information.
do you guys remember when they were like, there's just so many symptoms. It's very flu-like. It's this, it's that, and it still is. I mean, I got it. I got before the Delta variant, maybe even the Delta variant, and it was a lot of symptoms. It was weird, but it's just like, how do you even begin to be suspicious about a different variant when the fucking original goddamn virus has so many different symptoms? How do you begin to be suspicious? Like, let's test their blood. Or are they just testing everybody's blood? They're probably taking everybody's blood. Like you said, there's a group that's taking the blood, putting it in a database, and testing every sample that they come in, whether it's someone that they treat or someone that gets tested.
Well, I have a
Maybe that's what
theory.
it is.
I have a theory, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this. But so there's this case study that I researched and I looked up, and it was completed and performed in 2015. And it states imperfect vaccination can enhance the transmission of highly virulent pathogens. And so in this case, they experimented with a bunch of different diseases, Marek's disease, influenza, all this stuff, which we can relate this article to flu shots. It's basically stating that imperfect vaccinations, like what we have today, right? Like the flu shot and this COVID vaccine, that because they're imperfect, it causes the disease or virus to mutate. It's not 100%, it's not 100% efficacy of reducing transmission and receiving it. You know what I'm saying? So when we keep on passing around these viruses, even though you're vaccinated, what causes an organism to change its basically genetic code, which is like it changing, its mutations in the spike protein. It's basically changing its shape because it doesn't want to be recognized again from any other antibodies. And the antibodies kind of like they recognize what they have to basically go and attack, the spike protein. But if it looks different, it's in a different kind of like dynamic, to where its genetic makeup just has a different, codes where it's, You know,
It literally looks different.
It's been mutated. It's your immune system's not going to pick it up, and then
That's
this is going to
crazy.
be transmitted, and then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's what
Things like
Dr.
that.
Fauci was saying. Fucking whether you want to call him a doctor or not, but Fauci was saying that there's a constellation above the spike protein. It's mutated. And then,
Yeah,
it makes
no,
sense. It
well,
makes sense.
no, I even watched a nuclear physicist. He was breaking down how basically what Dr. Fauci was talking about. Like
Constellation.
which is crazy because it's like a webbing that's connected on the outside of the organism that no one's really kind of like
It's a mutation that's not normal.
seen in a common cold. Yeah, like
It's a mutation that's never been seen
Yeah.
before.
I mean, its genetic breakdown even shows certain things that
Well, that's what happens when you make things in
shouldn't
a
be there.
lab.
No, absolutely. Yeah,
You're
Yeah,
trying to
saying
make
shit
things.
you don't see before, you know?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean,
human monkeys and
Yeah.
fucking
Chimeras and shit.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Exactly.
chimeras, bro.
Go
It's
off
like
on
it's like
The
like
fucking
when
chimeras, bro.
Alex Jones
Yeah.
tangent. Yeah. And
Yeah.
the chimeras are.
well, it's like
They're
when
gonna
evolutionary
rip everybody's
biologists.
arms off in the street. It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna have to buy all my supplements.
They're making human cow hybrids so people can have more than one heart ready if they need a transplant.
Shit, dude.
And
Oh,
5G
man.
towers are supplying the genome.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh man.
Oh man, that sounds like you've been listening to him, bro.
I fucking love Alex Jones, man.
Oh, he's the best.
He's
I
hilarious.
wish we could have him on.
He's so funny. I find it
But
funny.
here I'm gonna read a sentence from this study, and I can relate it to like the Delta variant. Getting unvaccinated people sick. But it says the use of leaky vaccines, which is just another word that they kind of use to summarize.
Leaky? Yeah, I never heard that before. I'm hearing leaky. I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is this?
But
I
they
hear
use
leaky. I think of the gut, leaky gut. That's
well,
all I think of.
that's how these vaccines
Yeah,
are because
leaky pipes.
they're imperfect. They have so many leaks. Like it's just so many things that we're still figuring out on a daily basis.
Leaks in the cracks,
from
you know
these
what I'm saying?
But it says the use of leaky vaccines can facilitate the evolution of pathogen strains that put unvaccinated hosts at a greater risk of severe disease. And this is exactly what we saw with the Delta variant. At least what I saw, even personally working in the field. We're I know I did have some vaccinated people that were sick, but the majority was unvaccinated. People weren't severe, but they were just kind of,
The majority of people that were getting
sick.
the Delta.
Yeah. I can say that the call volume had increased in responding to COVID patients. I didn't see anything real. I didn't have to perform any life-saving interventions, but it's when that variant broke out.
How would you
The
even
one
do
they-
that safely?
Now that happened, what, 4 months after the vaccine? Do you
Yeah,
see what I'm
right.
saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Where I'm lining up with this?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
It
the
seems
way
like the vaccines are a bigger issue than the actual disease itself.
and
Maybe.
what we're doing is I think we're getting further and further away from like herd immunity.
Oh, I was about to
Because
ask.
yeah, no, I think we're getting further away because if this study is fact, which it's fact, I mean, we're gonna start to see just more outbreak instead of closing in on beating this fucking thing. But what we see
Eradicating
on a
it.
daily, what do we see on the daily? Oh, boosters. Oh, well, we're about now. It's probably maybe every 6 months. Like you hear this time frame. Then you hear the CDC starting to possibly like change their definition of who the vaccinated are to boosters. Claiming people as vaccinated.
It's disturbing, bro, because Fauci, even in the beginning, I feel like Fauci is the guy behind all this. Obviously, listen,
He changed
he's
a
a
lot of
fucking
definitions.
he's the fucking guy that was doing the gain of function research. He got caught by Rand Paul.
Whoa.
And nobody wants to fucking goddamn admit it. He was
Whoa.
the guy doing it, and it leaked from his fucking lab. 100%. It's obvious. It was what 1,000 miles away from the lab that, or 100 miles away
If you
that it first started breaking
you
out.
I
listen
think it
to
was
his
less than
interview,
that.
He said, this is what I wanted to get to real quick. But what he said was, there will be. It's like everything he says is just 100% fact, and it probably is. There will be no eradicating this, is what he said. Not word for word, that's paraphrasing, but he said that I don't see any. We're not going to be able to eradicate this. He has very little doubt. It's just like, wow, Jesus.
Well, this is coming from I'm talking about Fauci. Where when the HIV epidemic was going on, he was stating that you can get it from just being in the same household as certain
I
people.
heard something about that. Yeah, I don't know much about Fauci and
I
the
mean,
AIDS
even
stuff.
if it was a theory, it's like,
there's all
what
to
the
spread
fuck, bro?
fear about that.
Yeah, dude, what's that about, man? Come on.
Yeah,
People have
yeah.
just been conditioned, and just over time, they've just become demoralized. It only
So you
takes
think
about 20 to 25 years to demoralize a nation, and over the time of history from 1975, probably even like 1980, I
I
think
don't know.
we've been going that
Speed
route.
that up
I
with
think
all the social medias that we have and
those are
everything.
just
The internet has,
propaganda whores.
yep, the internet has
Yeah,
sped up everything when it comes to demoralization. And like, if you look at like what pop culture things that used to be in like style or in the news for like months would be in and out in a matter of days now because of how fast we want our information. We want everything to be now. So
right,
as an American, everyone wants the news from fucking Istanbul for some reason, but they never want to hear the news from Austin, Texas. You
right,
know, or
right.
what's going on in Michigan. You know, everyone focuses on the next big crisis when, Flint, Michigan's water supply is still fucked up and we still
Right,
have a
right.
fucking floating garbage ocean, but we're just gonna move on. You know what I mean? To the next. Or I said floating garbage
It's
ocean, floating
not in
you,
corporate?
island.
It's not in corporate interest.
That's what
It's
I'm
not in
saying.
corporate interest to
My
talk
point
about
is,
any of those things
right.
because
Well,
corporate causes that.
once it gets out, everyone's just like, "Hey, did you hear about that?" And then it goes to the next thing.
Yep. And then they're all just along for the ride.
You know,
Hey, did you hear about that girl that got killed while hiking, but it was her boyfriend, and they ended up half found beaten by alligators in Florida? What was that? What was that case?
I don't even
Right after
remember
Afghanistan?
what
I
happened to
don't,
that dude. Like, didn't they
I
find him
think
dead or something? Like,
bro. Like, what the
I don't
fuck?
even
Like,
remember.
well,
Afghanistan happened, the craziest shit ever happened, and then oh, something way more entertaining is happening now. We just found out that a girl's body was found. It's like,
Gabby.
come on, man. And then they stayed on that. They stayed on that trial, or not a trial. They stayed on that lost girl case for how long?
well,
Fucking two
dude,
No, it would
months,
go
talking
away
months.
and then it would come back because they would learn something, or Dog the Bounty
Something
Hunter would
new.
do an interview or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
bounty hunter
yeah,
got into this
Yeah.
shit. What the fuck?
And they were all like,
yeah.
you're doing it for money." And he's like, "No, I just want to find this guy."
Yeah, I think I could really find him
But
half eaten in Florida
but my
by
point but
alligators.
my point about it is we want everything. That's why they're looking for the next variant so much, Jesse. That answers your question.
There you
Because they
go. Yeah,
want
that makes sense.
they want the next thing. They want it to happen. They
Mm.
Yeah.
need it to happen because it fuels everything that they live for.
So I saw
Yeah.
some I saw there was some I don't know, this is probably just bullshit. Oh no, it's not bullshit actually. It was on the Johns Hopkins website.
I like
But
bullshit
there was
anyways. It doesn't matter.
Maybe bullshit still.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
It's
not.
be bullshit, yeah. But here listen to this little theory here, cuz we're talking about news media and we're talking about propaganda and everything, right? So the what's her name? The Maxwell case.
Oh, Ghislaine
Ghislaine is,
Maxwell.
yeah.
Maxwell case. So hear me out, okay? Now on the Johns Hopkins website, it's got like a table where it's got months that are listed, right? It's got 2021 months, like half the year,
For COVID.
yeah, for
It's a
for
COVID
COVID.
count.
It's like a COVID month, right thing, and then it's got the variant names next to it, right? It's got Alpha, Beta, Charlie, Delta, right?
Whatever.
And
Yeah.
then or whatever they
We're
are.
all the way to
And
Omicron, huh? Oh, we're doing
right.
good.
Eh.
Where do we go if we
So
hit Z? You know, like,
when you look
back
at
around.
that, it says that Omicron is supposed to be in May 2022.
Ah, they
But
fucked
then
us.
you see the Maxwell case get sped up
What?
and done.
Oh, Bill Gates released it early. He was like, "We
It's
must
like,
not let that information come
well,
out about me."
that's insane you say that, brother, because Bill Gates it's been proven now that he has been funding mainstream media
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
to manipulate whatever topics or what
He's a great guy,
manipulate the
man. Bill
fucking
Gates.
company.
So how did that come about? How did people find out that Bill Gates is funding? How do you know that?
It's Bill Gates.
Oh shit, I heard it on the news or
I'm
something.
trying to be detailed for the viewers that might
No,
view this.
I know,
Let's get a
Let me.
source
I'll have
on
to
here.
look it up for you.
www. dot.
But
No, we're just gonna look into the camera and say, "You should know this. It's Bill Gates."
it's Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's Bill Gates.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
He's got so much money.
Simple.
Yeah, it's a simple 2 + 2 answer here.
It really
Okay.
is. 5.
It's fish. You're wrong. God,
fish.
so wrong. All the time.
Seriously. In our case, what we're dealing with right now, it's fucking fish and sharks and bears and oh my.
2 + 2 equals a tiger shark.
Lions, tigers, sharks, and bears.
Yeah, sharks are awesome.
Sharks are not fucking awesome.
Yeah, they are. I just wouldn't swim with it, but it's still
got
cool to
drunk.
watch.
This guy right here, I got drunk on a fucking what's the beach? New Smyrna Beach, the shark attack capital of the world. Got drunk and decided to go out waist deep. You know, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Who cares?
I don't even
Little
go
shark
in- I
bite me,
wouldn't
I'll
even
be
go in
All
fine.
right, so I have an article here. It says documents show Bill Gates has given 319 million to media outlets, and it's got like multiple media. Holy fuck, bro! NPR, The Guardian,
Oh, yeah.
Public Radio International,
NPR and the Guardian. You would think those are
NBC
conservative.
Universal. Yeah,
Those are more so conservative networks, right? No, not
They
really.
take money like everybody else.
They take money,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, there's
whatever.
a list, bro. There's a fucking list with all the money, bro. Chalkbeat,
There's
News
that
Deeply,
one-
The Atlantic.
there's-
These are kind of like independent, or
Yeah,
they...
those are all not terrible. Like it's not like CNN or
No.
something.
New York Public Radio.
They're
What's
not
that-
done yet though. CNN's on there somewhere.
What's that one charity that donates all its money to like missing, like trying to find
CNN,
missing
bro.
children
Bro.
or whatever?
3.6 billion.
'Cause
Wait, what?
he donated.
CNN.
Nice. CNN got a good payout there, man.
Oh, million.
From
Sorry,
Bill
million.
Gates?
$3.6 million. to
Okay,
CNN.
I'm like billion.
Yeah, billion. Sorry, bro. My bad.
All right.
My bad. I
Nice.
just got
CNN made the fuck out.
Yeah, they're great. Don Lemon's getting a raise.
Yeah.
Let me see if like the Daily Wire's on this bitch. Hold on.
What were you saying, Devin? The charity?
There's a charity that donates all its money to like trying to find missing children or something like that. I forget what it is, but Bill and Melinda Gates are like one of their biggest like.
Isn't the guy from Jeopardy? Not the Jeopardy. The guy whose son was kidnapped from one of the game shows. He was a host of one of the game shows. His son was kidnapped.
Dude, I don't know what it's called. I just know that they're like really big donators to this thing, but I just find it kind of ironic that he's like a
Right.
terrible human being donating to a missing children thing when he's gonna be
Jesus.
coming out in some
When-
kind of Ghislaine thing.
Yeah, when he's supposedly had gone to an island full of missing children.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you got it. I was trying to skirt around it, but you fucking
Yeah.
started.
Hey, allegedly. I use these supposed alleged words. They work. I'm just a comedian.
Him and-
I can say whatever I
Him and
want.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah, Bill, man. I know Bill personally. He's over there all the time, man.
Yeah,
I
did he
wasn't.
ride on the plane like 27 times? Wasn't that it?
Oh man, at least. At least
Yeah.
fucking.
Oh, hey,
that's why
man.
Hillary
That's just
fucking
great.
hates him because he never let her go with him.
Thank you so
You know.
much. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, what a fucked up situation that fucking gig was, huh?
Oh
Don't.
man, it's getting there. It's getting worse. I really wish they didn't kill Jeffrey. It'd be
Yeah,
much more
man.
interesting.
Don't let that
Yeah, well,
picture
he's
get
not
out.
the only, wealthy person with an island. They've all got. There's so many people with
There's so
islands,
many
man.
islands.
There's so many. I'm an island boy.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
an
so many
island
islands.
boy.
Didn't I just read something about them duping everybody? They like
Uh,
supposed to be like
Island
fake or some shit like
Island
that.
Boys.
Yeah.
I heard. I never heard who they were until the other day, and then I saw them pop up on my YouTube,
Oh,
and they're like
you didn't watch it, did you?
they look like they're anorexic psychic twins from like Minority Report or something. They just belong in a water tube, just reading the minds of everyone in the universe.
Bunch of water heads,
What?
if it, yeah.
I mean, they look like they're from 2086.
No.
They,
Bunch of fucking. Hey, yay!
yeah.
That's what I
I mean,
fucking. It's my opinion of him.
we're in my opinion, we're in just the beginning of Idiocracy, and these kids are the beginning. I mean, it's going to get much worse. I think
Welcome to
people are
Costco. I
going to
love
be
you.
yeah. Yeah. Give the plants electrolytes. Give all the plants electrolytes.
Brondo. It's got what plants crave.
Yeah.
It's got electrolytes.
If you think about it, there's
Oh
in the
man.
cannabis industry, there's they use salts. They use a lot of salt products for their fertilizer or whatever, their nutrients, which
Well,
doesn't make
that's
any
fucking
sense.
dumb.
Yeah,
I also
I
can
mean,
tell you that all that fucking pesticide and herbicide and shit that they make is terrible.
oh yeah, oh of
And
course.
yeah, it's not the best.
No, it's not the best. And I know a
Oh, I turned that
company out
back
of
on too, right?
Las Vegas. I'm not gonna say their name, but I know a worker that worked for them. One of the growers, one of the cultivators. They call them cultivators. And he was telling me that this company, which is a very big company, a very big brand with good weed for sure, advertised that they were free of pesticides and herbicides and all the sides. And they'd advertise complete organic, and they're not at all. They use all the bad shit and yada yada yada. He was telling me all this shit, and I'm like, wow, that's fucked up because
yeah.
their
No,
product is just like everybody else's. So fuck.
yeah. Well, it's the same thing with food too. I got a buddy of mine that I work with. Their family owns a blueberry farm, and you can grow, you can be in the organic industry and still use a bunch of pesticides and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a weird fucking loophole that you can get around.
Well,
That's
because they say certain
you
pesticides
know,
don't affect, you know what I mean, or
yeah, yeah,
it's
right,
crazy. They have certain pesticides where not even pesticides. They have seeds now where and it started in like the 60s or the 50s, I believe, where and they have massive cases against it. People that would like steal their seeds and like they would fucking uh engineer these seeds to where they wouldn't die. Everything would die, but that plant would survive if they got sprayed with that pesticide. And
right.
it's kind of crazy
Yeah,
because
no,
you
they
just
would
created a
so
super plant.
Jesus.
yeah.
You know what I
This is
mean?
To just
yeah,
condition the plant to that one pesticide or whatever.
No, they would
yeah.
literally change its genome at
They
the
would
Oh.
seed
change its
level.
DNA. Absolutely.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
and then
Right.
so it
Do you
wouldn't
know
be
how they do
affected.
that? Do you know how they changed the basically like gene therapy? They use mRNA to change like genome
And anything.
in anything. Yeah. So there's a I can probably I got to look it up so I can get like a
We're coming full
um
circle here, guys.
no, this is going to be good. But it's a let me just bring it up on
Yep. Full
Yeah,
circle.
right? Coming full circle here, guys. Bring it
uh
around town.
Bring it around town, Steven. Slam dunk it.
if I could fucking find it, bro.
Whoop.
Okay.
Just want to let everybody know I'm squeezing lemon into club soda.
I'm gonna take another dab.
I'm squeezing lemon into club soda because that's
Well,
healthy for you.
with that. Oh, so we were talking about
Changing
what's
genomes
that?
with mRNA.
mRNA, right? So
Yeah, Myrna Beach.
Dum-dum.
the way you do that, so DNA is naturally occurring. That's why like Monsanto can patent basically life, the
Hey,
right
that's who
to
I was
life.
thinking about when I was
Right,
talking
it's
about the
Monsanto,
seeds. It's
right?
Monsanto. There
So,
you
well,
go.
yeah, right, yeah, no, yeah, and they're like I think they call those seeds Terminator seeds or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think
Oh,
so
I've heard
too.
of
They
that.
can't
Okay.
Pretty
die,
sure.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
They
So
have
to
many different versions of those seeds though. Like it's not just the
right,
one because they all
right,
also
right.
every time they make a new pesticide or herbicide, they have to make a new seed to go with that pesticide or herbicide. They have a bunch of them.
Right, because they
Right.
all keep becoming illegal and they change the chemical compound of the.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they have to change the genome of the plant.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, keep going.
Sorry to
Jeez.
interrupt you.
You're good. So Monsanto, right? They were able to patent basically something that's naturally occurring, which is kind of I believe it's illegal because there's a lot of cases that have gone on through the years about this topic.
They have
But
movies on it too.
yeah, but Monsanto ended up being able to, they're able to patent fucking seeds so that farmers can they can't go anywhere else, unless they're their own independent, association or whatever. But they have to constantly go back to Monsanto, and that's the cycle of life with agriculture in the United States. But so when you take DNA and it's naturally occurring, and you now you do gene therapy, whatever, you use mRNA technology, and that DNA becomes now classified as something called cDNA, and cDNA is complementary DNA. It's no longer in its naturally occurring state. It's been
1 week since you looked at
affected.
me.
It's been altered,
Yeah, you sent me this court case. I read
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So now that court case was in 2012, and that case was not about seeds or that
Mm-mm.
type of DNA. This case is literally about human DNA.
And
uh,
discovering this complementary DNA.
Specifically. Yeah, and not only that, but putting legislation behind it stating that you can patent
Yeah.
complementary DNA. You can patent complementary human DNA. So I don't know what that means, but
It means if you change
it's
the
law.
DNA, if you change the DNA to how you want to change it, then you can patent them motherfuckers. You have walking patents.
But
Human patents
what is
walking
that?
around.
What I tell someone that, and like they don't know what that means. I'm not even sure if I even know what it means, but I'm trying to like relate things in the future that may give us the understanding of what it means now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
how we don't know what that means entirely, because
no.
let's say this vaccine
I mean,
stuff
you got to
goes on
believe
for
in
10 years,
law.
Yeah.
Who cares about patent law if you're a person at that point?
Yeah.
You can't own
Well,
me.
no, I know. I mean, it's
I
going to
mean,
be,
they
but
can.
let's say 10 years, goes on, and 6 billion people in the world get vaccines, for 10 years of mRNA technology, which looking into the booster, Moderna is the one that's leading in that field. They're the one that's already starting to like build up a booster shot for this new variant.
Well, it's funny
Um,
because their vaccine is like 3 times as strong as anyone else's, right? It's more potent
I
as
think
far
it
as
is a little
mRNA
better.
technology
I think
goes.
the Pfizer one is the one that's getting a lot of criticism behind it, at
Well,
least right now.
the effectiveness is less from
Yeah,
Pfizer and always has been, right?
yeah.
It's like they're trying to tell you. I think it's 90%, 97% effective after the third booster or something like that. But weren't they saying that in the beginning with one booster, and then
Yeah,
it
but
turned out it was like 30? And
oh
it's like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's probably less than that right now.
well, and then it only, like Joe
Doing
Rogan
that
keeps
booster.
saying, these vaccines, even with the booster, they only last a few months.
Yeah, no,
I
man, that's crazy. That's an imperfect vaccine.
Here in New
We're gonna
York,
fucking
we're giving kids fucking shots now.
Wait, for how old?
I don't know.
Probably
My kid's
5 to
5
11.
and just got one.
Yeah.
5?
Yeah. So,
That's
and
pretty
you
neat.
know, I laugh because none of these are tested in a lab for long enough to be approved by the FDA, like FDA fully. They're just, what is it, emergency or whatever.
That's 10
Right,
years.
right,
It's
right.
supposed to be 10
So
years.
It's
my
for
th-
emergency use.
right, I just thought it was funny. We went in and my girl had to sign papers because they charged us for those vaccines. So I'm thinking to
Are
myself,
you serious?
we're paying, yeah, it's $40 a
Yeah,
piece. We're paying to put experimental stuff into our bodies and our kids' bodies. Like,
I know.
you can't even give me it for free to see what's gonna happen to me. You just assume we're gonna be
Hey,
all
bro, you're
good.
late to the trial. You're late to those fucking trials. Those experimental trials
Yeah,
were last year.
obviously, apparently.
You're
That's how they
fucking
gotta
late.
make their money, man.
Those experimental trials were last year, or the year before.
Oh.
You're late. You're late to the show, man.
And look at my point is I think that's crazy.
Well,
It
yeah,
is, man.
Like,
it is fucking crazy.
like,
That's nuts, man.
like how
There's not.
That's
we're
nuts.
paying for fucking experimental shit. That's like, for years people would go to a lab and get paid to do experimental drugs. Like, let's do this fucking thing and see what happens to you, and we'll give you fucking $50.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
cool. Let's
Jeez.
do
People have been
this.
doing that a long
You know what I
time.
mean? Like,
75 bucks.
yeah,
Take
people.
this drug. Come back tomorrow. Tell me how you feel.
I
One
lost
time,
all the hair
24
on my
hours.
testicles, and it burns when I pee. But I have a full head of hair now, so fuck it.
It's
Like,
gonorrhea.
yeah. Oh.
That's funny.
But my point is
Dude,
like they used to pay us for that shit. Now we're paying them. Like, it's crazy.
Well, that's why they're
And
pushing it
kids,
so hard
though,
because it's profitable. It's
kids,
profitable.
children.
I know, man.
It's just like a product. It's like Walmart buys all their shit from so and so. You buy their shit from Walmart. Walmart makes a profit on the shit they just bought from so and so. Fauci and all these fucks already sold billions of vaccines, probably worth, I don't know, $5 a dose, $10 a dose, and then you got the hospital selling it to you for $40. It's a
Well,
simple fucking,
and then they're telling you all
it's.
the stuff that like some people say work to fucking cure it don't, and they're not gonna fucking prescribe it to you.
What do you mean?
Like
Yeah.
Say that again.
ivermectin and all that shit, they won't prescribe to you half
All
the
right,
time.
I
You gotta
know.
go to like a special person to like, it's kind of
Because
like
it's
getting your fucking
politicized.
weed card like back in the day. You had to
Yeah,
go to like a special doctor that was fucking gonna give it to you, and
yeah,
then sometimes the dude was actually like, "No, you're not medically." You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then like, the other guy's like, "Dude, what's wrong with you? Oh, you're depressed. Here's your weed card." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like that's kind of like what it's like getting fucking that special COVID shit. So one doctor's like, "No, we're not gonna get that to you," and the other doctor's like, "Fuck it. If you want it, here's your shit."
yeah. Well, there's doctors that are down to earth and understandable, and then there's doctors that are fucking go by the book, and they're soft as a pillow and square as a fucking rectangle.
But my point is
But
this is the
Yeah.
first time that like anybody that you've ever heard of, like, I can't go to somewhere and just get what I need to like heal myself. Like, so like if I need fucking penicillin, I can go to the doctor and just be like, "Hey, I need penicillin because of this," and they'll be like, "Oh, all right, here." Or like, but now this is the only time I can't go and be like you see on TV, they advertise all them motherfucking medications, and they just say, ask your doctor. You can go into your doctor
yeah,
and be like, "Hey, will this work for me?" And if your doctor says, "Yeah, here's that medication," but like
yeah,
they're like,
there's only
"No,
a
we don't
couple
prescribe.
countries.
We don't prescribe that stuff."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
But you
mean?
know
And
what's
it's
crazy?
crazy.
You say about those commercials, when you look at a vaccine commercial, it's the happiest fucking
Oh my
time of the
god.
goddamn fucking
I
year.
They're
haven't seen
running.
it
It's
They're
since the
running
fucking
through
Christmas
fields
sequel,
and
and
shit.
fucking
Like,
March. It's something, bro.
bro.
It's like, dude, this guy, the
did you
guy's
I
got
see
the
the?
haven't
best fucking life ever. He's
really.
got a little band-aid, bro, like on his fucking shoulder, dude. He just got the fucking jab of his life, dude, right? But
The jam of his
He's got his
life.
dick
they
stuck
have all
and
this,
stuck
they
with the
have
needle.
but just the go back on that, but
The jab of his
they
thing.
just show how fucking happy he is, and then that's it. And it's like, go do your part and get your COVID-19
Yeah.
vaccine. Like, cool. But where is it like at the end of every commercial where they go, it's the guy that reads fucking 1,000 words in a
could
minute. And he's
cause
like, oh, if you feel like you have
explosive
shortness of breath,
diarrhea
okay,
and
or nausea vomiting, like go ahead, see your
yeah,
doctor. Call
yeah. I haven't heard any of them actually. You're right.
It's because
You don't see it.
that fucking guy can't speak fast enough in fucking 10 seconds
At
for
the
that
end, it's
one.
always like sponsored by the New York State Department of Health. Because
Yeah.
and you're
They
like,
can't look
oh,
for
cool.
signs
They
and
just believe it
symptoms, man.
all.
It's crazy.
Bro, I haven't had cable in fucking
No, they
6
play it on
years.
Hulu now. I be watching
Oh,
shit on
yeah, that's not
Hulu. We be
surprising.
getting fucking vaccine commercials,
I see it on the highway. We're driving out of town. We go to Utah or
and you could
see it on the highway. I see
billboard.
COVID, don't save a life, get your vaccine tonight or some shit like that.
They're
God
all
damn.
the
I'm
commercials.
pulling over and going to the fucking hospital. Let's do this.
All the
Have an
commercials.
adverse event ended with Bell's palsy.
Oh, this was a bad fucking idea. I can't even drive back
All
home.
the com-
Fuck.
We gotta go
All the
fucking like
commercials.
this now. Ah.
All the commercials you can tell have like some kind of like affirmative action thing going on with them too. They're all like some kind of woman of color or child of color like playing ball happy in a field, like, hey, we got our shot, so now we can play
That's the
ball happy in a
demographic
field.
that's the demographic they're targeting because they see so supposedly, allegedly, and this is Joe Rogan's statistics. I'm gonna blame it on fucking Joe.
Jesus.
What Joe said was he said that if you look at the amount of African Americans that have gotten the vaccine, it's not as many as you would think. The population in the United States is it's like 30, not even 30% maybe.
Well, that didn't Joe
It's
Biden.
very low, and so they're targeting that demographic. So when you see those commercials, or you see a commercial about a prostate cancer, you're gonna see a guy. Of course, they're targeting that demographic. Or you see, thank you, babe.
Didn't Joe
You see,
Biden say some shit about minorities not being smart enough to use the internet, or
oh, he said that
too poor
black
to have
people
cell
were.
phones or some shit? Too
He
stupid.
said
Yeah.
They
he said
too
black people
stupid to
were
read
super
or something.
predators. He said a
Yeah,
lot
well,
of
I heard
stuff.
that part, but there was a whole. I remember, like, I listened to this interview and went, "Yo, that was racist as fuck." Like, he said some shit about like people of color not being able to read or not having access to the internet, or because they were too poor, or like they couldn't, like it was crazy, or they couldn't find, they were too dumb to find the spot to get vaccinated or some shit like that. It was crazy when he said it, and he said it too like,
Golly.
dude, I was like, what the fuck did he just do? I swear it was during the fucking running of the presidency too. So like that, it was everywhere. I remember it, dude. That shit was so crazy.
And that's exactly why
Oh
the
man, I would
media
pull
is
that video up.
completely bought out by the Democratic side mostly, and Republicans, Democrats. The system that we have is all shit. But in reality, when you look at all this shit, they just hide all that. Joe is never gonna get in trouble for any of the dumb shit he said. He's just a crazy old man. Don't mind the crazy old president.
They were like,
Fuck
we
it.
need to get people talking about it in the streets, and that's what he was saying. He was like, we
It's
need to
so
get.
funny. It's so funny. It's like people like give him a pass because he's an old man. Like, why the fuck do we have old man grandpa as the
Well, he
president
had
of the
hold on.
world,
He
of
had
the
an
United
aneurysm.
States? The
He had an
fuck?
aneurysm called the
Two.
Widowmaker. Well, the one was between that fucking the what you're fucking EMT.
Yeah, the Widowmaker's bad. It's very bad.
Well,
Yeah.
he had that happen to him, and I knew a lady that happened to.
Well,
Like they call
Steven,
it the
describe the widow.
Widowmaker.
Yeah,
They call
describe
it the
it.
Widowmaker because it's it over just the course of history of time, people that have died of this, it's been mainly adult men. So they
Men.
call it the Widowmaker because you're making a widow.
And like
'Cause it
everyone
usually
dies
kills
usually when
guys.
it happens.
Yeah, it kills the men
Isn't
in the
it?
marriage.
There's like
That's why it's
the artery splits, and then it
yeah.
happens in between the artery,
hmm
and it causes a rupture, which usually floods the brain with oxygenated blood and kills the cells. Is that not what it does? drowns the
It'll
brain
just
out or some shit like that.
it's just gonna create a brain bleed, and that's just no good.
Well, I don't know, but
That doesn't sound good.
no, but I
Yeah,
don't
you're
know.
gonna
But
need.
my friend's mom, it happened to her, and it killed half her brain. I remember that specifically.
Yeah,
Half of it was dead,
yeah, no, that's like
and
the
and
main
she had like
avenue of where blood travels.
and she
Like
had
in
like
your cerebral
seizures and shit
area.
afterwards, and they said she wasn't gonna live very long, and she lived forever, dude. But my point is I would never have voted her as the president of the United States. So like,
Yeah,
who knows how affected he was by that one aneurysm, and there was two.
yeah,
Wow. And that just shows you, because I do believe there was election fraud, but regardless,
And
I
he's
knew a lot of
80.
people that voted. I know a lot of fucking people that voted. Supposedly Biden got the most votes in history, which
And he
makes
let
sense too,
kids
because
touch
we're
his
in
hairy legs.
2021. There's more people on the goddamn planet now. There's more people in the United States. There's more 18-year-olds that are out of their goddamn mind. Regardless,
Gonna run their fingers through
it,
my hairy
re- re-
legs.
re- regardless, it's just like it's like how fucking it's idiocracy, man. How fucking stupid are you to vote for these two people? These two people, Kamala Harris. These are all facts. Kamala
Can we
Harris.
just vote Terry Crews into office and
Fuck, we
have
should
him
have.
be
Terry Crews would have done
Camacho?
way
That'd be
better.
amazing. That'd be
He
amazing.
still
It's
would be
so
better
yeah, it'd be
than what
like
we're dealing with
no,
now.
I mean like I'm serious. Like have him play Macho, Camacho, Mountain Dew, whatever the fuck his name is.
Didn't some trucker just get elected a governor or something like that? One of the states,
Dude,
senator. Oh,
I don't know,
senator.
but I was just watching Joe Rogan and they were talking about how some transgender
Oh yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
Democratic person
oh fuck.
got voted as like a Republican sheriff because they just said they were Republican and nobody looked
Well, the thing
into it.
exactly. Yeah, the thing was that she wanted her
Just say she
Wait,
at this point.
wanted
She
to
made it into office as a her.
she wanted to go under libertarian and
They were
didn't have a
like,
shot. So she was smart. She was very smart about it and
just
was
say
like,
her.
"Hey, I'm gonna trick these motherfuckers
She
real
voted into
good."
office with it. She earned that title at that point. She got voted into office. She tricked some motherfuckers. I'm gonna call her a her.
Yeah, fuck it.
You know what I mean?
Scandalous. Scandalous
Yep,
bitch.
she did it, dude. That's crazy. And then everybody was like, "Wait a minute!" After like a week.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's really funny, actually. That just goes to show how stupid you are.
Well, she was
You know,
like
you're out
anti-gun.
here voting, and you
She
don't
was
even know who you're voting for.
she was like anti-gun, anti-cop, and I think Tim Pool called her a fascist.
Oh, if she's anti-gun, anti-cop, she is a fascist.
I'm just
yeah.
saying.
You are a fascist if you're anti-gun, anti-cop. Hey, so Steven, Mr.
Yo.
Steven, I call Steven, just to clarify, I call Steven Stevie. I've known Stevie Jr., his
Yeah.
father, Big Steve. I've known him since I wasn't even conscious. I was in my mom's stomach. So
Yeah.
he's a year older than me. Best friends growing up. And he would come he's from Florida and I'm from New York. He would come into town every summer pretty much.
I
But
know it, dude.
yeah,
It
it
was
was
like that
good
for a while.
good times. It was good times. And that's way off topic. I should have said that in the beginning. But I wanted to ask you, you said something to me the other day about you seeing a lot of your patients that recently took the vaccine and were having like adverse reactions or
Oh
something like
yeah.
that.
So what I've been seeing a lot lately.
'Cause you see their whole
Well,
profile, right? When you
I ask everyone if they've gotten the vaccine or not, just to have that in the back of my head or something, or if I can relate it to a patient's complaint, then I can try and do that. Just like I did on this is just an example, but this is a recent call. Responded to the high school in the morning. It was like 8 o'clock. No, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. I remember it because it was just before I got off shift. And it was a teacher who was just walking up the stairs, and she just fucking got hit with a sharp chest pain that was constant, didn't go away. And she made it up to her room and called 911 or whatever. We get there, and she had received her booster last week. And from seeing just the shit I've seen over the years and kind of like having these feelings and instincts and stuff, I thought she was having a pulmonary embolism, which there's nothing I can do for anyone unless just give you oxygen and breathe for you if you stop breathing. But pulmonary embolisms are terrible.
What is a pulmonary embolism?
It's when there's a blood clot that forms in your pulmonary arteries or veins,
What are
and
the
it
symptoms?
severe chest pain, shortness of breath, um, nausea. It could be a bunch of stuff, but it's mainly like around those primary complaints. But what I do after I transport people and I get done doing my report and everything is I submit all that information. And what happens is in this reporting system, I can always look up patients and see what their diagnosis was in the hospital. And what I've been seeing a lot with these people, with this trend, of people, vaccinated people, they're having a lot of clots. There's even a guy that works for us. His wife actually just got a blood clot, and she got the vaccine like a month ago.
So it
Like
all
she
happens
got a pulmonary
relatively.
embolism, and she has a condition that um, prevents you from getting clots, and she still got a clot, which
That's
is
She's
crazy.
insane.
anemic. She's
So
anemic.
no, something that she has some sort of disorder that um, does something to the platelets in her blood. So your blood's made of four things. It's got red blood cell, white blood cell, platelets, which clot. It's the stuff in the blood that helps bring your blood cells, clump them together. And the fourth thing is plasma.
The
That's
scab.
It's basically just water in a way, apply the plasma. But the fact that my buddy was talking to me the other shift, and he was like, "Yeah, she even had like a condition, that she wasn't ever supposed to ever like get clots. If anything, like we would be worried about having a clot because then with her issue, like it would be a problem." But yeah, she was in the ICU, dude, for like 2 weeks.
Wow. She's okay though.
She's good. Yeah, she's
Good.
getting better. So
Damn.
Good.
coming
Blood.
around. But it's something
Blood.
I've seen. Like it's something that I can't relate to news articles or other shit, but it's just something that like I've seen. I ask the questions. I'm putting my hands in real time on this stuff, and it's not just that. Like there's been a lot of like neurological stuff too that I've responded to. People having weird
After they
shit
take the
going on.
booster, or just the vaccine or the booster, they have
Just
neurological.
vaccinated people in general.
What's the neurological
Just like
stuff that you're
like
seeing?
there's like what's it called? Um I think it's like neurological dysfunction syndrome or something like that. It's where like you kind of like lose um voluntary control like over like your legs and your arms, kind of like you have like abnormal shaking or like tremors, you can't control it, like stuff like that. Just people that are just normal people, never had anything wrong with them, and then they start developing stuff. And
No dehydration, no panic attacks, just simply
yeah, at least my suspicion is like there's something like kind of like maybe neurally going on. I don't know. It could be a bunch of
neurological.
stuff. Yeah, it could be
Yeah,
a
if someone's
and
fucking
it could be a bunch of stuff. Like I'm kind of skeptic a little bit on it too. I try to be just for my own sanity, but at the same time, like I see a trend and stuff. And even like I've even watched doctors, do like live tests, like live studies, um, where I think there was a guy that performed live on Alex Jones' show. He's a nuclear physicist or something, and he took he took samples of blood and he injected the blood with normal saline, showed you what that looked like.
Oh yeah,
He,
I've seen
I think
something
I
like that.
sent it to you, or I think I something like that. But he shows what it looks like when you inject the Pfizer vaccine in the blood, and it shows how like I think it's ITB or something, the actual acronym of it, but it's little clotting in the blood, like it's just little specks of red blood cells just kind of start to like stick to each other when they're supposed to like bounce and roll over each other. they kind of like are. You even saw it in the magnification of the
Speaking about
whatever microscope or whatever.
yeah, speaking about magnification, what about well, this has nothing to do with magnification, but magnetic. The Japanese, when the Moderna, I believe it was the Moderna, was first introduced into the Japanese public, they recalled it immediately, almost not immediately, but I think there's 500,000 to one point. I think it was like 1.5 million doses
Mm-hmm.
had been recalled from Moderna because they found metallic, like heavy metallic steel, stainless steel. I think they said, and everybody's talking about nanotechnology and shit. And it's like, man, it's
Yeah.
insane. It's
Well,
insane. Do
that
you think
other
that has anything to do with it? That it's magnetic? It's literally
I
making
don't
it's
know. I don't know. I mean, but one thing that this scientist did when he just looked at the vaccine itself was that he was stating that there's a bunch of trash in it. That's what the same words he used was trash. You know, um, that there he could see nanoparticles. He could see what seemed to be possibly like aluminum. You know, because there's some aluminum that's used in vaccines to help.
straight to the
Um,
brain, fellas. Straight to
yeah.
the brain.
Um,
That's
but
insane.
he was saying that it shouldn't have passed quality control. And at the beginning of this study, he emailed the FDA and the CDC requesting basically like the studies he was about to perform, and they didn't send him anything. They just basically said, "We entrust our employees. We provide safe and protective vaccines." Blah blah blah. And when he emailed them after this study that he did, he emailed it to them saying like, "Hey, your vaccine is shit. Like it's." I'm not saying it doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? For a certain amount of time, but what I'm saying, shit wise, is like
It's not
it should
quality.
not have. It's
All
not
that shit,
quality.
all
Like
that garbage in it.
this needs to be reviewed. Like
It's too much garbage in it.
yeah, this is insane. He was like, and this is coming from someone too. Like he worked in the vaccine field. You
And
know.
you know what? Honestly, I met one girl that I worked for, and she was like pretty much a vaccine salesman. And I was talking about adjuvants. She was a vaccine salesman. This is before COVID, maybe a year before COVID. And I was, got into a little discussion with her. But I was trying to ask her about adjuvants. You know, adjuvants. They're
Mm-mm.
pretty much I could be wrong, completely wrong, but they're pretty much additives. They're additives to a vaccine to prolong the life of the vaccine. It's called mass production. You know, especially when you're doing some warp speed project bullshit and you have to produce billions of vaccines, you probably got to add a bunch of bullshit to keep the vaccine alive or to keep the vaccine to do what you want it to do, to prolong the life of the vaccine. I'm assuming that, but at the same time, it's gonna affect maybe millions of people.
Right. It's funny you were talking about ingredients and stuff. So like they have the vaccine for kids in I think you said they're giving it to kids in New York, right? Is that where you're from? And
Yep.
then they're doing it in California, I think, too, right now. And they yeah, right. You said I don't think it is FDA approved. I think it's just I think it's emergency use right now,
Yeah, that's
right?
the way it's been. All of it is.
All of it is, yeah, pretty much. I think the actual name on the FDA approved is like Comirnaty or something, or Comirnaty or something like that. It's not even COVID-19 vaccine or anything. It's under a different name. It's so sketch, man. It's so sketch.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Everything about it is always sketchy, dude. Especially when you got Fauci changing definitions of words and just
Yeah.
doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, for real. For real. Um but so I was in this class for like 3 weeks and I just got done with it uh a week ago. But it was like a course where like I'm talking to all like the main big meech fucking doctors in Central Florida. You know, you got like the kids trauma surgeon, you got the adult trauma surgeon, stroke specialist, you know, you got pediatric specialist. It's basically the whole fucking 9 yards, you know. And we had this guy that was giving this presentation and basically lecture on ventilators, and he's a respiratory tech or respiratory therapist. I think they're both the same thing, but he basically intubates people and puts them on ventilators, and he controls all that stuff. And in his presentation, he was like basically going over all of the bad shit that like it can do to you over just being, you could be on a ventilator for 1 week to 40 weeks, and these are the things that can take place. And he had a list, bro, that was like 20, it had to have been like 25 things, like bullets on this slide.
That
And
can go wrong.
it was like alveolar compromise, it was like surfactant something, it was like all kinds of shit that can go wrong, bronchial spasms, bronchial constrict, all this stuff that can happen, you know, when you're on a ventilator. And he said that I think he said 80 or 85% of people that are put on ventilators have a over 90% fatality rate.
Yeah, I was gonna say
For a certain amount of time, right? A certain amount of time.
Yeah, within those that time frame that he gave. And I was like, I raised my hand, I asked the question, you know, and there's like 40 other medics in that room, and
Fuck yeah.
I was like,
Speak up,
hey,
boy.
yeah, I was speaking up, and I was like, you know, so why are we taking patients who, for example, have like 87% or 88% oxygen, you
What's
know?
low? What's low oxygen?
Low is under 90. I'm supposed to treat under 94. But if we
What's the
have someone,
symptoms? Like, what's the symptoms you get with under
well, you get
90%?
like, you know, you get pale or blue, you know, cyanosis, maybe not, because there's some people that function at 92%.
And cyanosis is like passing out, losing consciousness. Is that what that is?
No, it's like you're blue. It's like you're turning color. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay. I
Like, you
got
know,
you.
you don't breathe, like you start going blue. Like that's
Right, you need
kind of like that.
oxygen.
It first starts in your lips and your hands and your fingers and your earlobes and stuff like that.
that's what happens when you get
But
cold.
yeah, like, you know, like you take someone out of the water from drowning, they're like blue, shit like that. But
You like say it like you should know that. Yeah, never done that
should know that,
before,
bro.
but
Oh
Hey.
shit, where was I going with this? Damn, what was I talking about?
Took somebody out
you
of
were
the
going
water
with
from
the
drowning.
diagnosis, like so all the problems with intubation, I think is what it was.
Oh yeah. So
Own respirators.
I was like, why are we? Because what doctors do in the field is they basically take over patients' airways. Like they will take over they will RSI you. It's a thing that they call
They
rapid
put you to
system
sleep, right?
stimulation. Yeah, they put you to sleep, and they end up putting a tube in your freaking trach, and then they put you on a ventilator. And we were doing this to patients with COVID. You know, when we were nervous and we didn't understand what it
You were
is
doing
that we
that?
were fighting. No, not me, but just what the hospitals were doing with patients, you know.
I like how you
Patient
say we because you take responsibility apart because you're part of the medical
I'm
community. I
part of the
respect
medical
that.
community, you know, like
I respect that.
you know, the medical community was intubating COVID patients a lot, and they were not having a good outcome. And you know, we see it as COVID killing patients, but now I kind of see it possibly as, you know,
Ventilators.
I can't not blame the fact that you know, people that have died could have been from a ventilator. Like that's
Yeah.
facts that we know, you know.
I heard this nurse tell a story about multiple patients. They started intubating and doing what you said. The nurse was talking about some of these patients were on like 7 different drugs, like hardcore drugs, like heavy drugs to put them down. I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
this
well,
could be.
it's meant to literally stop yourself from breathing.
Wow.
Like it stops your breathing, it stops your takes your drive away,
Well, then it would
and
kill your heart
they
too, I would
take
think.
it they take it over for you. Like
Yeah.
and
So
and what the doctor does is he just, or the specialist does is he just goes over to the machine, types in the equation, types in your body size, whatever it is, and boom, start, and this is the
like
amount
the,
of,
the new iron lung,
yeah, it's like,
right?
yeah, but it can cause so many problems, man. Like
Worse than the iron lung, because iron lung saved
your
everyone.
and I think it all comes down to like pathophysiology, which basically means like when you expose like basically our cells to things that they're not supposed to be exposed to, it had the function of your cell then reverses, and it becomes like, you know a toxic it becomes a cell that's not helping you anymore. Like, for example, let's just say someone that smokes cigarettes or whatever. Like, your lungs are only supposed to really have oxygen, nitrogen, and shit like that going in and out, and hydrogen, going in and out of it. But that smoke goes in, and that cell, it has to react to that, and it starts to kind of change a little bit, and that's where like you start to have little issues that happen. That's why, like, because everything goes back to the smallest size, the smallest level, like the cell. And if the cell isn't working properly, then you're going to have little issues that happen. Like, for example, like the ventilator, like we breathe on negative pressure. I suck air in. When I'm on a ventilator, they're positive pressure, you know.
Oh,
Even
they're
just the pressure,
blowing.
they're
They're
blowing it. They're
blowing it.
they're forcing air in.
Well, that's probably the difference
When
between the iron lung there, Jesse.
That's a fact, right? That's true. Well, the iron lung
you
was
know,
made along in the time where people made shit
Well,
right, and it
it's
was much heavier equipment, much more expensive, and longer time to make.
it's a
Yeah.
pressurized tube that would
Now we're like, put AI. Let's
press
just let the
and
AI do it.
compress
Program the AI,
and
put the
retort.
computer chip into the system, put his weight in. Once you put his weight in and you got his weight, lung capacity, and then you type it in and then it blows it into him, we're good.
Yeah,
It's
and he
bullshit.
gets so much air, and then he takes out so much air. You see, the machine does it for you.
Oh wow, that's
For
terrible.
you. See,
Oh man.
for you.
So that's true. That's
No wonder
true
why it's
then.
killing you. It's
oh
like
yeah, but
shoving a vacuum into your throat.
Fuck.
oh
Like a
fuck,
shop vac and be like,
Shut
wee woo,
up.
wee woo.
damn.
Why are we laughing at that? That's fucking horrible because
Yeah,
that's pretty much what
that's
it
super
is.
funny, dude. Yeah, it's
Oh
like if you get
man.
that
I
wrong, you're just
remember.
like,
Hey,
wee
let me tell this story
woo.
real quick though. Let me tell this story real quick. The nurse was sent down to New York City during the very beginning of this. New York City was putting everybody on ventilators, and they got a lot of data
Yeah, they
on this.
were.
They already knew the data, but they did it anyways, and the data was already 80% of people die in ventilators throughout a so on amount of time.
Put him on the
It was
boat.
already they already had the data. They did it anyways. It happened. It wasn't COVID that killed him. It was because they put him on a ventilator. They didn't treat him properly, and we know that now.
If
It's
they
a
die at
fact.
sea on a boat,
But
does
the
it
lady
count?
was saying the lady was saying this. The fucking story is Devin. Listen, Linda. The story is that this one fucking guy that was a drug addict came in, and the drugs didn't fully work on him, and he saved his life because he pulled the tube out of his throat. And then he looked at them and said, "You saved my life. You saved my life." They didn't intubate him again because he was fine. He pulled the tube out of his throat. He's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. You saved my life." And
Well,
he's like,
see, what
"No."
happened is they
She said,
shoved that
"She,
vacuum in there, and then it sucked all the shit out, must be. And he pulled it out, and he's like, ha!
yeah, maybe, but
No,
he didn't. The drugs didn't work on him. So
That's crazy.
she said that all her other patients died that were on ventilators, and he was the
Jesus.
only one that survived because of the drugs didn't work, and she didn't have the heart to tell him like, "Hey, the only reason you survived is because you're a drug addict, and the drugs didn't work that well on you, and you put the tube out, and that's why you're living." It's
That's
a
fucking
crazy
crazy.
story. Yeah,
Well,
it's nuts,
I
man.
I
And
mean,
mean,
she that was in New York City.
I even
we.
asked the doctor. I was like, I brought up the situation in New York with all the ventilators, and then we went through a ventilator shortage, and I was like,
Ventilator shortage.
we were putting people on ventilators like with 87, 88% oxygen, and I was like, did we not hurt people like in the process of doing this? Like, are we not to blame for, and he was like, we were doing what we thought at the
No.
time was the right thing, and I was like,
Can I make something really clear
get it,
though?
but
Because you're a paramedic and you know this. And I knew this kid, and I still know this kid. He's a good kid. He works at the plumbing supply house, and he was going in to be a paramedic firefighter, and he had his first day or second day. I don't think he fucking cut the first or second day. I don't know if you guys go through fucking SEALs training, but this kid didn't last very fucking long. And he was telling me, I know all this stuff, and they don't put him on ventilators. They put him on something else. There's something like a ventilator. It looks like a ventilator, but it's more like a respirator. What's the difference between?
well, there's ventilator, then there's BiPAP, and then there's CPAP. BiPAP is like a thing hooked up to your nose and kind of like your mouth, where it is positive ventilation, but it's a machine pushing air,
Oxygen.
and it's timed with your breathing, so it helps air come in for you instead of
So
you
for
having to like
COPD
pull all of
patients
it.
or something.
Yeah, how like people with sleep apnea,
That's
they
yeah.
have to wear it's called a CPAP, and it's
Joey Diaz.
positive pressure to where it helps you kind of like
Save my life,
breathe,
motherfucker.
Yeah,
It's
Joey
the-
Diaz
it's-
is famous for that, wearing the
You know, like-
Joe
Change my
Rogan
life,
talks about him wearing the
motherfucker.
CPAP. Yeah, changed
Well,
my life. I bring it everywhere I go.
Yeah.
that's the last thing
Sleep every
basically that we use in the field to help you breathe before we have to like breathe for you. That's the last thing that we have, at least. I mean,
That's not what I want. Anybody
So-
wants. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but anyways, he was trying to tell me, no, they don't put anybody on ventilators. That's a lie. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, there's a lot of really, really big media sources talking about it. So I'm assuming that that's exactly what happened in New York. And this is during the whole deal, and he probably knows it now, I guess. But it's like, how do you not know this? Like, how do you not know
I don't know how Cuomo
that that's what
hasn't
they were
been
doing?
charged with any like elderly deaths or any of that stuff.
Hey, did my question is though, because I didn't watch any CNN, I didn't watch any of these MSNBC, I didn't watch any of these news sources this whole time.
those are great fucking news sources right there, buddy.
Well, anytime,
Hey.
yeah.
Tune into
You
Fox
trying to
next.
get some donations or some money towards this podcast? What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Just
to
kidding.
get
That would
sponsored,
never
bro.
happen if they listen to any other part. No, but I didn't listen to any one of those. I didn't listen to any big media sources on the cable television like CNN or MSNBC or even Fox. I don't listen to any of these conservative, right, left, Republican, Democrat, whatever. I didn't listen to any of them through all of COVID. So I'm like wondering what the dialogue has been, what the narrative has been through all these news sources. Because I listened to it like during the.
You want to know? You really want to know?
I mean, I've been hearing
Donald
it
Trump
here
is
and there,
evil.
but it's just like, well, yeah.
And Donald Trump is good. Those are the
That was
those are the
before this, though.
narratives.
I'm
You
thinking
said-
like,
All right.
how did
They
they
say
not
the
call out the
pandemic's over
ventilators
now.
and how did they not call out the ventilators in New York? How did they not address that on TV? Like, hey,
Yeah,
a
but
lot
they
of fucking
impeached him
people
over
died.
like grabbing
that's
ass.
true. I
No, they
forgot.
were using it
forgot.
it from a different angle. They were using it to
Sexual
where like,
assault.
yo, they were
Sexual
like,
assault.
these fucking people on ventilators have COVID and they're dying. Like it's COVID. Like they were taking that shit and running with it, bro. They were blowing that motherfucking shit.
Everyone
up,
that
dude.
Yeah.
died from
Blowing
COVID.
it
Colin
up,
Powell. I
bro.
just read it.
How does that happen with doctors though? The only
Bro, they said, yeah, he's bringing up Colin Powell,
They
bro.
said
They fucking
Colin
brought
Powell
up Colin
died
Powell.
from-
They're like, yo, he
but he
fucking
died
died of
from
COVID. No,
cancer and
motherfucker,
old
he's got
age.
stage 4 fucking cancer. Oh, and guess what, motherfucker? He's vaccinated.
Yeah.
Fucking say that. Fucking put that shit in there.
I
It
swear to God,
hyper-
that
it
was what
hy-
I
it
clicked
fucking
on when I
fast-
seen
it-
that. I was
it's-
like, Colin
it's
Powell
fast-tracked
died
his
of
cancer.
fucking COVID.
They just fucking feed off this fucking fear porn, and they love it, and they love it.
People would say the same thing about
these
Alex
people-
Jones. People,
these
people
people-
say the same thing about Alex Jones. I see this a lot, and I get it. I 100% get it. But
Yeah,
all of it,
yeah.
it is fear porn, and I think the mainstream media is just starting to realize how radical they have to take it to get to Alex Jones' point. Like Alex Jones is popular. Like the reason why he has a good formula is because it is a lot of fear, but he's so passionate about what he
Dude,
believes.
it's just the
that he
globalists. man.
over exaggerated at the minimum. At the minimum, he does it every
Yeah.
time with everything.
Yeah.
So now you got the media's doing that now, especially over exaggerating goddamn everything. You know, like what in the fuck is going on, man?
It's
I
the
get it, bro.
globalists'
But
fault.
like, if you snuck into a fucking, red fucking
The
tree
globalists.
forests and fucking,
Oh,
they were
fuck
fucking.
yeah.
You ran into these fucking famous fucking politicians, and you see them fucking burning a effigy, bro, of the fucking owl god Moloch,
And
bro.
they
Like,
think that you're
I
some
would
male
be,
hooker. And they're trying to
I would
hook
be
up
a
with you
little,
the whole time because you're sexy Alex Jones. That's like
yeah,
his
yeah,
story. Have you
yeah,
heard it? Every time he
yeah,
tells
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it
He
changes a
does.
little, and he's
They
like,
tried.
"Yeah, because I was really different back then and cut and fit,
Yeah,
and they're all
yeah,
asking me if I was there for sexual stuff, and I was like, oh no, I'll wait till the party later."
yeah.
And then I hid under a house until dark.
You know what I
Fuck,
just heard him
man.
say the other day
People
too?
running naked in the woods,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, I love his stories. He's so funny.
His stories are great. The other day, he even said he keeps saying it. I love him to death, and I totally believe him. I so believe him so much. He's like, yeah, even after all this is over, I swear they're still going to come up to me and ask me to be a global. They're still going to come up to me.
Yeah, globalist.
They're going to try to get me to become a globalist. I'm not going to do it. Nope, not going to do it.
Right?
Turn him down and tell him I'm not a
He's
globalist.
like over here clapping his hands as like the effigy's being burnt, and like
Not a
someone to his
globalist.
right's like, "Shut up or I'll fucking kill you." It's like, what the fuck? I thought this was like a happy moment.
Honestly though, Alex Jones is smart as fuck because he went on Andrew Schultz, which is a New York, right? He's a New York comedian and a very, very, very popular right now. And he shits on everybody. He fucking picks on everybody. And Alex Jones took it. And you can obviously tell that Alex Jones is not crazy. He's not narcissistic like everybody
Yo,
thinks.
I love that.
Everybody is to a
That was a
point.
good episode of Andrew
Oh my god,
Schultz.
they had two of them. I watched both of them. They're fucking amazing. Andrew Schultz. Okay, there you go. Andrew Schultz, Flagrant 2. There you go.
Yeah,
go
the
watch that
Flagrant
shit.
2 podcast.
Fucking
Who's
fire.
his co-host on there?
Some Indian little kid. I can never pronounce the name.
Let's not.
Yeah. I like both of them.
He
That
just
kid's good too.
laughs and
Their producers in the background. They're quiet and little. They look like two big gay dudes. They're like 6'6" gay dudes in the background producing everything. Is really weird.
There's like two black guys and a white guy back there, I think.
Yeah, but they all look gay, and I'm like, why is there a
They
bunch
all
of big
look
gay
gay.
dudes producing the show, and there's two straight little guys? What's going on here? It's very weird.
dude, I like how you your map, bro. Your map in the back. I like how you edited the
Can you see
geographical
it?
locations. Yeah, it's
Can you
awesome,
read it?
dude.
Can you
Yeah,
read
it's
it?
cool. I can read it. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay,
bro.
because it's backwards in my picture.
Oh
I
no,
see
it's
it.
good. I can read it perfect. I can
Nice.
read it perfect. Yeah, that's
Okay.
dope, bro. That's
I
cool.
just put some dorky shit. Yeah, we got the Wise Men HQ
Yeah.
down here in Central Florida, baby. That's our other podcast, and then we got Jay Tizzle
Yeah, man.
and D Money, which is Devin here. You know,
Awesome.
Mr. Cartman.
Yeah, we gotta
How do
change
you
some
pronounce it?
names and shit. Yeah,
How you pronounce that?
it's Cartmenez, dude. You ever seen
That's
that
what I
episode of
thought.
on
Cartmenez.
South Park? Where he's
No,
got
I saw the
how do I
first
reach
COVID.
these kids, dude? Like,
Oh man, they're the best. I saw the first COVID special or one
did
of
you
them,
see
and
the new one that just came out where they're
no.
adults?
They're so funny.
Dude, I watched
It
it. It's
was-
great.
They're adults.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, they're
I
all
watched some-
adults.
Oh
Like
my
grown up,
they're
they're like
adults
40.
now?
Yo, Cartman is the worst character ever now. I hate him. He's
Oh
a
no,
40-year-old Jewish man. He converted.
he's Jewish.
He converted to Judaism and married a Jewish woman, and he's a rabbi.
He's gonna turn. They're gonna do another
No
episode.
way.
He's gonna turn.
Dude,
he's gonna
they're
go right back to
definitely-
normal.
Oh, you
Yeah,
watch
this
it.
is
They're
set up
gonna
for
they're
something
gonna
else.
at the end.
It's
I
He's
set
gonna
think
have
they
a fucking
foreshadowed it.
relapse, bro.
They were like,
he's
gonna
gonna
have a
fuck his
cat.
Jewish wife.
It's gonna be worse than ever.
He's gonna realize like, oh fuck you, Jew, and he's gonna kill his wife.
Yeah,
Yo, straight up, I swear to God.
Dude,
yeah, I
that's gonna
really
be the
want.
best
I
episode,
was
bro.
well the whole time. It was the best thing about it was Kyle doesn't believe anything that comes out of his fucking mouth, even if 40 years later.
Yeah, of course.
So like
yeah,
the whole
yeah,
time
yeah.
he's like, "Stop fucking with me,
Jewish?
fat ass."
Isn't Kyle really Jewish? Kyle's
Yeah,
the
Kyle's
Jewish one,
the
right?
Jewish one. Yeah.
Right.
So he's like,
yeah.
"Stop fucking with me, fat ass," and he's
Yeah.
and Cartman's just like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
I'm not
Right, and
fucking with
Cartman.
you. He's got the shawl and the fucking yarmulke and everything, dude. And he's
That's
Okay, no,
great.
that's typical Cartman then.
Dude, he's
That's
talking
typical.
like the fucking dude. The most funny part is it's like if you could think of like what a stereotypical Jewish person would say, he would say it in that scene. Like, oh, that's just my, you know what I mean? Like that kind of
Yeah.
shit. Like my boobala.
Yeah. Some fucking dorky old
Yeah,
Jewish Judaism shit
yeah, dude. So,
from
dude,
from something from the Quran or something.
No, jeez.
I think it's the Torah, but
Golly.
Yeah. Oh, did
yeah.
I mix that up? Oh shit. Sorry, guys. Did I mix them up there? Yeah. All right. Anyways, so getting back on to the world-ending topics here.
Well, I mean, it all started because Randy fucked a pangolin.
A pangolin?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it was because
Randy.
somebody ate some bats from the wet market.
No,
That's
it's
what
Randy
happened.
fucked a pangolin, man. That's
Pangolin.
isn't isn't that what they said?
That's great.
It came from either bats or pangolins.
Yeah, something
What?
like
Pang
What
that.
the
Yeah.
fuck is a pang?
pangolin.
What the fuck is
Yeah.
that?
Look it up. It's like
Look, I had to pronounce that with my mouth
kind of
even
like an
more.
armadillo anteater thing. That's how I could dis. Oh wait, you know what Sandshrew is in Pokemon? Looks just like that.
Yeah, kind of like a long anteater slash hedgehog.
Yeah, but not hedgehog. More like an armor.
Hmm. Interesting. Like a dinosaur.
Yeah, kinda. I guess. I mean, fuck it.
Kind of like a
Like I
dinosaur.
said, armadillo.
All right, so let's get back to the topic because this is really what I wanted to talk about big time, and I wanted to talk about predictions, and I really think their whole media fucking go right now is about to ramp this up into another lockdown.
What do you want to? Oh, you want to predict it for locking down because New York is already going into a state of emergency.
Well, fuck you, Devin.
Like we beat you to it, you son of a bitch.
Hey, you're not really. You know, it's funny. Like we
You'd have
talked about
said
the other
that
night.
the other day, we'd have been good.
Wait, did
You'd you'd
I?
have called it, but you didn't.
I think really what's
Shit.
gonna go. Stop fucking yawning. You want some of this fucking whiskey? All right, send this on. Oh, look at that.
Oh
Oh,
man, that's that. I've drank that before.
hey,
Fuck.
look at polished half down, doggies. Come on now, keep
Damn.
up with
Oh,
me,
doggy.
bitches. Keep
Damn,
up with me,
homie.
bitches. Come on now.
Damn, doggy.
We're in the real man sport here, motherfuckers.
I don't know, man.
I don't drink.
Just it's like I see what's happening now. It's just like illustrating what the future is gonna be like.
Yeah,
You
right.
know,
Okay.
it's just gonna be like the normal. It's just all programming, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just like the little
If you
subliminal psychological effects from this shit.
if you were to
California.
give it a date, because let me just say this,
I think
I'm reaching
2030. I think 2030 is gonna be where shit is just like in the. It's gonna now go into like it's
something else.
like phase 1 is done. Phase 2 initiated. Like it's
Well,
like
I'm just thinking. I'm
now
just
we're
thinking in
going
my
to go
head.
right into that next fucking just that
I'm just-
next gear, bro. You know?
I'm just thinking in my head. I'm like, there's got to be a time where these viruses. It's not going to be cool for the media to talk about. It's going to get outplayed. Is pretty much my point. It's going to get outplayed. People aren't going to really be dying like all over the fucking place from it.
Well, we stopped caring almost, and then the
We
new
did.
variant came out.
There
And
we go.
everyone's like,
Exactly.
"Oh shit, we gotta care again."
How long? So my question to you was, because I'm not done asking the fucking question, and you already answered it. Jesus.
Damn.
How
See that?
long do you think this virus shit is going to get played out until the next stage? You kind of did answer it because maybe stage 1 is virus central. Virus, scare, and then everybody's going to be like, okay, 10 years later, all right, well, my mom's still alive. She smokes cigarettes all day long every day.
I
Dad's,
think it's
they all
planned
got the
for-
boosters and
Maybe it's
No,
just
like,
a
I
way
think-
to induce communism.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, man. I mean, like, what other way than ushering it in
Yeah.
than like
I mean, like
medical
it's.
tyranny, you know?
Well,
like
if you like think about
medical
it, they
field.
keep trying to give out
to
fucking.
me,
giving out stimulus packages after stimulus package.
Yeah,
At some point, they're
yeah,
just
but
gonna be like, well, what if we just take everybody's and distribute it evenly, and then oh, there we go.
they're doing too much, though, man.
Yeah.
I just, see. This is my prediction. They're doing too much. It's so obvious to people that are actually intelligent. They're doing way too fucking much. All this shit's already played out to most of us.
But they
I
don't
think
care
what
about that, man.
I think
They
what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is I think majority of the public is going to actually sway in elections, and you're going to see it through social media. You're going to see the actual vote through social media, and if the vote is otherwise, you're going to know. You're going to know it's actual fraud.
Like on
So I
somebody's
think
story.
no, yeah, well, no, I'm saying that
Yes.
you're going to see in the media that every vote for the person or everybody's vote has suddenly changed, whether it's this presidency or next presidency or next presidency. The social media, the whole media internet source is going to show a large sway as
Well,
far
it's
as
like
individuals,
it's like people.
and it's probably going to get played with. But my point is that I think that all this shit's going to get played out. And people are going to win. I think at the end of the day, we're eventually going to get someone into office that everybody can kind of side with. Not everybody, but people from sides that you wouldn't think that would. Because I get why people hate Trump. All right, I totally understand why you hate Trump. One, a lot of the conservatives were disappointed that he went into the whole warp speed thing with the fast tracking the vaccines. That was a killer for a lot of people. But before that, the left side, people hated him because they thought he was a womanizer, the girl, and he's a billionaire that doesn't pay taxes. And he's also racist because his father was friends with some guy from the KK.
I got a question, guys.
All right, I'll shut up.
If
Thank you for telling me to shut up.
If Kamala Harris and Michelle Obama run for president, are you gonna vote for one of them?
No,
Yes, of course I will not.
I would vote for Michelle Obama, depending on.
Michelle is Michael.
You really believe that?
But yeah, that's who they say. That's who they say they want to run if Joe Biden doesn't run in 2024. Those are
Guess
gonna be
what?
the two main.
Guess
who
what?
they're saying?
Guess what?
I
There's going
think
to be a
Michelle
lot of
Obama
retards.
could.
They're not
has a-
going to because
has
There'll
the
be a
fucking
lot of
chance,
fucking
though.
idiots that vote for him. A lot of dumb people that.
I
A lot
really,
of dumb people.
yeah, but I feel like Michelle Obama would win that.
I mean, I'm
Oh.
calling you dumb. Sorry, I am calling you dumb. If you vote for Michelle Obama or Gabby or Tulsi Gabbard, you need to be smacked.
They're
You
not
need to be
gonna bring
smacked.
Tulsi Gabbard in because she doesn't
All Michelle
follow.
Obama cares about is how her Netflix shows are doing and her money that
Well,
she's
yeah, but that means
her
they
childhood,
can
and
just
she's
tell her-
narcissistic as
Yeah,
fuck.
but you're
And
forgetting what the presidency is. You're
yeah, no,
you're
it's
fucking.
not. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be
But
that.
yeah, but you're forgetting what it is, and that's what matters.
No,
You're over
it
here
ain't. It
like,
shouldn't
oh,
be
we
that.
need to vote in somebody that can change things and do stuff, and like, they're not gonna do that.
No, we're voting for Kim Kardashian land
Yeah,
now.
Michelle
we're all
Obama's getting voted in, dude.
The Rock.
entertaining
I'd
the
vote for
world.
Rock. Fuck yeah, let's do that. That's how you know. That's how you know right there. If the Rock
You know
ever
what?
becomes
Thank
the
God.
president, that's how you
Thank
know
God
it's
our first.
fucking
Thank God our
bullshit.
first president that was our first TV president. Our first president that was famous from reality TV and whatever in his life. A mogul, a real estate mogul.
Thank
Thank God the
God.
first person to get in office didn't ruin the whole world.
Oh yeah.
He didn't.
Well, at least it
I
wasn't
mean, Joe
Pauly
Biden's
D
doing
or
it right
something,
now,
you
but
know?
he literally, it's like, dude, you would think that someone would get in office, it would just fuck shit up real bad
Could you
for
imagine?
everybody. He'd go to North Korea and get shot in the forehead like Kim Jong Un, but he didn't.
you imagine
He was fine, supposedly. Who knows? Maybe they sent
Introducing
a
our
clone
president,
back.
Ronnie from the Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck is going on, man? Idiocracy. Straight up idiocracy. Also, so as far as the coronavirus, so that's my prediction. I think it's going to get played out. I think
You think
eventually
it's gonna get played out.
I think eventually it'll get played out. I think there's a plan. I think there's a plan, and I agree with it. I think there's an obvious plan and an agenda for a certain community of people, but I think it's going to get played out. I think people like Alex Jones, people that are actually journalists that are actually doing their jobs, are doing a good enough job to informing enough people on the planet to stand up and protest against a lot of this tyranny. You know, you see it in Australia, you see it everywhere. Maybe some people don't, but if you do enough digging on the internet, not necessarily through Google, you could probably find it through Google too. But you
Yeah.
do enough digging, you'll see that people are standing up against this, and you got to ask yourself why. If
I
you don't
say
understand why, you got to ask yourself that.
I see people standing up, but they ain't doing shit. They're standing up, but they ain't doing a fucking thing. You got to think
Really?
about the course of history. Yes, really, because our federal government income tax right now, you need to remember that in the revolutionary time, that's what we went to war for. We fucking fought and killed motherfuckers because we were just getting taxed. That shit went away. We created the union and the government became big again. And then now we're getting, federal income taxes again. But the people are don't understand history and they don't understand
That's why
you
everybody's
know,
rolling over right now.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
But
why
it's just
everybody's rolling over right now because they don't understand
that,
history.
that's the
Well, we
part
can
of
Crazy.
democratically vote in a
that's
king.
the process of bringing in communism. It's 3 stages. It's demoralize, destabilize, and then normalize.
Yep.
You demoralize, you get people to believe in ideology. It's called ideological subversion. That's like the actual understanding of this. And then once they are all demoralized, then you destabilize that nation.
Which is
And
happening.
then now when that's destabilized, everything becomes normalized after that. It becomes like a new norm. It becomes
That's why people keep saying the new
little
norm.
junior, and your son too. You know that when they're growing up, they're growing up learning differently than how we did.
You
They're
hear that,
learning.
Devin? He said you had a son.
Oh, I don't have a
Uh,
son.
uh, does he?
You have a kid on the way, buddy.
No, don't say
It's gonna be a
No.
boy.
that. No. No.
Wait, do you have a kid?
Yeah, but then
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh.
But
But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I
they're
just it's just
just that nah, it's not a son
he
though.
is
I
with
got you.
the mother and then stopped
But
himself.
you
He's
see
like,
where
nope.
I'm going with this though. Like, and I
Yeah.
think they're not going to ever let this go away because this is a way to just bring that in. It's a way to bring it in. It's a tool, not a.
Well, of
It's a
course.
theater and it's a tool and it's a
It's
way
really
to,
weird.
even if you
It's
can get 60%,
Might
if
just
you
be
can
the
get 60%
Chinese
of the
communists taking
country,
us over too,
if you can get 60% of the country to conform to socialism and communism,
It's
yeah,
happening, yeah.
you've done enough
yeah,
because now that 60% is going to turn into 80
right,
real quick.
right. And
Because,
you're right
you know,
because back in the 50s is when they started it, I believe, teaching the Marxism. Karl Marx. They started teaching all these theories, and they kind of took it and made it their own. And they used his theories, and a lot of the shit that he was a genius, but a lot of the shit from him was used by really evil people, and it really fucking made a difference in the world and killed people,
or what if,
right?
what,
And
I
it was
mean,
weird.
even
It's
if,
just weird. Like what I'm getting to is just weird that you just started seeing it. It was really prevalent during the, and then you just started seeing it come in as far as Marxism, critical race theory, specifically that we were dealing with the George Floyd deal. Right when that happened, you really started seeing it poke its head out into public and on the news. They want to implement it in the schools, but people don't realize that this is a very, very dangerous thing to deal with because before in the past, people died because of these theories. Millions of people died because of these types of theories, literally.
mhm.
And
Well,
those people that want to push this shit, a lot of the parents of these children, they don't realize this. They don't realize that their kids are being.
it's like the Kyle Rittenhouse case. It's like the protesters that were outside. They were chanting that we need communism. We the only solution is communist revolution.
They're paid
That
to
is
say
what
that.
they
You
were
know that.
preaching.
They're
That is what
paid
they're
to
preaching.
say. They're paid.
But
They're
I
paid.
believe that there are some people. That's fine. But I believe that there are some people out there that truly believe that.
They
That
believe that
truly
because
believe that.
Stephen,
They,
they
I
believe
don't
that
care.
because
I understand, but I don't care if someone's being paid to create that ideology on someone. It is
yeah,
the fact that the person, the American, is
Their
believing
parents,
that ideology.
their
It's
parents,
insane, bro.
their parents weren't educated enough to teach their kid otherwise before
But
they were
that's
able
where
to
you
get
that's where you
brainwashed.
demoralize.
Is
That's
it
where you
insane
demoralize.
Well,
You
now we
change the
need to
truth.
realize that
as
our
a
children are being brainwashed, and we need to focus
as a
on
person?
that
No.
and learn and educate yourself about this. Sorry that I have to interrupt everybody, but that's how I feel. I'm scared every day. I think about it almost every
No
day.
doubt.
My son is about to be 5 years old, and I want to send him to school. I want him to get. He has a lot of family members and kids around him. A lot. He's socialized very well, but still, I want him to have what I had. I gained a lot of social skills from going to school, you know,
Mhm.
and I can't feel comfortable sending him to school if there's going to be a teacher there that is a psychotic person. It's like it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like you don't know if these fucks are going to be psychos. Pay these teachers more, get them more certification, have harder training. I don't know what it needs to be. It's the same problem with police too. It's like make it harder to get in somehow in a
The
certain way for these guys.
the
If you
craziest
had
thing as a parent, I feel like my parents didn't have to go through these issues. Like,
different time,
yeah, but like my point is like my parents never had to fight because like they were teaching like
weird shit. Yeah.
weird shit at school, or changing math randomly for no reason.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about? It's cool though. They do
Mhm.
shortcuts now. They're kind of
I don't
clever.
think any of it's shorter, but
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know.
No,
I'll get
I hear the
there.
math problems today are like intense. Like they're like you have to solve it like 5 different ways now or something.
yeah, it's
Sounds like
fucking
That's what
China.
Brittany
dude,
said. Some shit.
nuts.
China.
Well, it
Hey, they're
just
making us better. Who knows?
I don't
Competing.
I don't get it, dude. It's just like this critical race thing. I don't even know what it is, so I'm not gonna fucking comment on it. But my point about it is we teach Black History Month for no reason. There is it's all history, man. Why don't we just figure
Yeah.
out where it goes and
Agreed.
integrate it into the right era? Why are we
Mhm.
Yeah.
teaching it month by month? Like
Integrate it
if
into the curriculum.
right, if there's a black something that goes on in the Middle Ages and the Middle Ages are taught in 6th grade, then you should teach all of it. And if 19 or in 15 whatever this happened, and then the 15 '94 this one happened, should all be
I'll be
taught in the same
100%.
fucking thing. I don't get why we focus on race at all in our history. Race doesn't matter in history unless you're talking
No.
about like slavery, but that's
And you know
only
what's
Yeah.
specifically during colonial slavery, not slavery in whole, because all races have been enslaved. So my point is I don't understand why we are teaching it by race. Like it
well,
shouldn't be
listen.
taught by race, and that's the biggest flaw of this whole thing.
So Devin, the reason why I think all three of us are so on board and understand so well about racism is because we were taught racism in school. Our children now aren't being taught the same thing. And you know what? I'll admit it, and everybody will admit it too. You aren't taught about the black town that was bombed and there was a massacre, and you weren't taught a lot of shit because a lot of people didn't even know it was hidden. It was hidden from the public. It was especially hidden from school curriculum. But growing up, we were taught about racism. We were taught about slavery growing up in New York. We learned that in school. We learned about slavery in school. We did. I don't know if they're teaching that now, but
They
we had a
should.
better
If they're not,
education
that's
back
fucked
then.
up.
Yeah. Well,
It's part of the
my point
history,
about
and if you don't teach history,
my point
history
about
repeats
this is
itself.
indoctrination. It's all about indoctrination. So why would they not teach what we were taught? Why would they not teach that now? Well, they won't teach that now, or they teach something, a variation of it, is because it's indoctrination. They have a different outlook. They want to guide the children of this time in a different way to change the culture, whether it's for good or bad. And I guarantee it's not for the good of
I
what
think
we
it's
think.
I think
So,
it's a strategic plan to
strategic,
destroy.
agreed.
It's just to destroy the uh
American Union, the American
American
Union.
history. Yeah, the
If
American
you want to get
history
down
and
to it, we
Constitution
have a
and all
union
that. Yeah.
here. We have a union here. We do. We have a union. We have an understanding between the state, and we have an understanding under the Bill of Rights and the
Well,
Constitution.
they're trying to destroy the Constitution like that is their
All of
number
it.
one target.
Well, yeah, well,
But
they're already
because
taking away the freedom of speech because you can't say certain words. Like, I can't say
yeah, and
tranny.
government,
That's
right?
fucking
No,
fucked
government's
up.
gonna do it,
What? A
and
transmission?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, gotcha. I got a
Yeah.
6.2 liter.
Well, there's I'm trying to think. Like slave cylinders and shit like that. They
What
changed.
cylinders? Tranny cylinders?
No, seriously,
You
like
talking about an engine?
no, I'm talking about car parts. So like slave cylinders have been changed. The names have been changed to something else. So
Wait, oh,
you
you're
don't say
literally talking about car parts,
yeah. So like
auto parts
slave
for the working
cylinders.
man.
Yeah. So slave cylinder. There's another thing that's was slave. I forget what it was. But slave cylinder, I believe, is in your brakes. And
Why the fuck was it called a slave cylinder?
I don't fucking know, dude.
That it might have been changed for a reason
But they
because
changed it. But that's not the
it
point. The point is they
stays there
multiple
forever.
things has been changed. You know what
Never
I'm
goes
saying?
bad.
Like they. I don't know, man. That's what I'm just saying.
it's the cancel culture, man. I
You
get it.
can't say certain words.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can. You can. You just gotta. You really gotta voice like Joe
They're
Rogan's doing.
controlling.
Jesus.
Yeah, but he.
Look, he
Yeah,
got
I'm
a
gonna
hundred
go
million
through
man.
this
dollar
with a
deal with
drink every time
Spotify.
you
They
say
have so
Joe
much.
Rogan.
You know what they told me? After I realized this, they invested. We're very lucky that happened too for freedom of speech, anyways, because Spotify invested in Joe Rogan instead of investing in Don Lemon type characters. Spotify invested $100 million into Joe Rogan, and that tells you that either one or two things happened. Joe Rogan
Oh
sold
Jesus.
out and is going to cancel his free speech on himself, or he's going to keep being himself because he's all about that shit, and he kept being himself.
Dude, I think
So
this
so far, so far,
we should change the name of this episode to
Joe
Drinking
Rogan.
Game. Every time Jesse says Joe Rogan, take a shot. You've
Hey.
said Joe Rogan 1,800 times, dude. I'd be wasted at the end of this video.
Oh yeah, you'd be fucked up. I said Joe
Especially in
Rogan
that last
25
little
times.
fucking thing, like you were
Two
like, coo,
bottles,
coo, 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 coo.
2 bottles down, 32. I said Joe Rogan 32 times.
Yeah,
You're down 2 bottles,
you.
and you are going to the
I don't
hospital.
think I'm making it to the end of the video.
Yeah. Hey, shut up,
Funny.
Steven. No,
That's
this is
fucked
good
up.
times.
Oh,
Honestly,
This is
though,
good. This is
honest, yeah, honestly, though, uh, this whole
good.
the whole prediction thing. I mean, we're headed in. We're gonna. What? I mean, at least the
I think
California, New York, and you just said New York is in a state of emergency already. They're like, oh fuck, let's prepare.
we're gonna get
Jesus.
reassessed on January 15th.
15th. Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
What is
That's
that? What does that
crazy.
mean?
It means New York went into a state of emergency because they're like, fuck, well, look what this did to us the first time. There's a new big variant come out of South Africa. Let's get a fucking
I don't know what it
state of
means though.
emergency
He's
going.
got a point. Like, does that mean we got a mask when we go out? Does that
Yeah,
mean
like what does that
vaccine
mean? I
cards
mean,
don't work no more? Does that
is
mean
that? I
businesses have
mean,
to close again? What does that mean?
Well, yeah, that's what they want you to think too. I'm
I'm
sure.
So
telling you,
Come on.
bro.
I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
because I didn't.
there's stages of this shit, bro.
They
There's
better not close
stages,
businesses again. Because I don't
stages
see
of
how
this
they
shit.
can do that, man. Legally,
Well,
like
how else are they gonna? How else do
constitutionally,
you
how can
make
you close my
corporate?
business? Is what I'm saying.
Here's the thing.
Why
How
are they
else do you make
lockstep with
corporate
each other?
bigger? How do you make another business
You
better?
cancel its
It's
You give
corporation
by
them money.
competition.
You give them money.
it's by
Donating money.
by them either outproducing you or you getting shut down. That's it. That's the only other way people leave from having your services to go to another service.
Yeah, you
Mm,
get shut
It's
yeah.
down.
like when the
That's why
pandemic
Amazon
happened
made
and we had the first
$17 billion.
shutdown. That's why Amazon, Walmart,
Dude.
fucking Costco, all these motherfucking places that are huge corporate, entities, they're making
Yeah.
That's why
millions.
Walmart
They're
didn't have to
taking everyone else's
close
money.
like
You know what I'm saying?
everybody else did.
Oh,
I hated that,
Oh.
man. Fucking
that's
mom and
bullshit.
pop stop was fucking closed. You couldn't have your restaurant open, but Walmart was wide the fuck open,
What
7
the fuck?
a.m. to 11 p.m.
Bullshit. It's crazy, bro.
Counting you as you
It's
came
just
in like
the
it was a fucking important thing. Like I didn't get
They
the
want
count.
they want that's part of the whole Great Reset, man, is to have these big corporations controlling everything. It's there is going to be no more
Well, yeah, because
of this crazy, man.
if it's a national like spending system, everyone's allotted a certain amount. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They can
Yep.
control it all. That's why all the cash fucking registers have been closed.
Mhm.
You can't pay for cash with anything at Walmart anymore, dude. All them things are all and like it's not like they don't have 2 or 3 people watching the registers. They still don't want you to steal. So what's the point in not doing the cash? The machine spits it out and does it all for you already. Like
Yeah, man.
they didn't have to do anything else. It's already there. So why take out that feature? Well, it's because they
Yeah.
don't want you to use cash and they want to track all your purchases.
Mhm.
Where do you think this crypto shit's going? You think the government's going to take this shit over, huh?
No, I don't think they can, but I think that they're going to just create their own. But it's going to be crazy. That's going to
Universal
be a crazy
crypto.
time. But here's the thing, that
I
this
think
is going
they'll
to be a
just buy
crazy
out
time.
Bitcoin and
But
control the
hear me
market,
out. Hear me out for a second. This
right?
is going to be crazy because if these governments do create their own cryptocurrency, for the first time, it's going to be to where, because the difference between crypto and country currencies is that the countries dictate basically the value of the currency
The
when
economy of the
w-
country.
the economy
Yeah.
when crypto is based off of us. It's us giving the value to whatever
Yeah.
coin it is, blah
Well,
blah
did
blah.
you did you see
But people, that means that they're gonna either do something with the central banking system, because they have to have the value there. They can't just start it all over again. Like USDC can't fucking start out at 0.000000000. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
it's
was
got to
just
be some sort of merge.
fucking Venezuela just did that.
What?
They
Oh, they
literally
just started their own.
yeah, they canceled their own dollar and they made a new one. And they were
Yeah, it's just
literally whole garbage like fucking bins like
hmm,
just fucking full of money just because it wasn't worth shit.
hmm, wow. It's just
Yeah,
it,
because they're a socialist country and they threw all their fucking civilians into
Well, they
bullshit,
just kept
which
printing
destroyed their
money.
economy. Supposedly, America destroyed the economy through military, but who knows if that's true.
I don't
I
know.
know that they just kept printing money and their dollar became worthless.
I just know that there's gonna be some sort of system, man, in the future that's gonna fucking control everything. And
I think there already is. Obviously, look at
I
look at
feel
the
like we're
AI.
being
Look at the
conditioned.
algorithm.
But
Look
I
at the
feel like we're being
algorithm.
conditioned right now. I feel like we're being conditioned to, like, in order to be a part of society, in order to work and make money and have a job and support a life, you have to have something.
Well,
You have to have this.
look at how they're doing
Yeah,
it. Make everyone
And just
sick.
let that microdose for 10, 15 years, dude.
I've been microdosing for 29 years now, motherfucker. I'm done
You
with
know what
it.
I'm
Well,
saying?
Now I'm macrodosing this shit.
well, like
This shit's hitting me all at once.
look at how they're doing it. Keep everyone sick. Keep them away from each
Hmm.
other. Make it harder to go places. Look at the gas prices.
Yeah, yeah,
Make it harder to get things. Everything's like sold out or the prices have went up.
It's really not bad yet, man. It's not bad yet at all.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Inflation is
My Walmart's got zero laundry detergent and shit. Like you
even the
make
powder.
nah, there's no powder
No
and
powder.
you don't get powder here.
No powder.
No, they don't sell it.
Oh, because it's too moist. It's too humid.
Yeah, yeah, they don't
yeah,
sell
man.
that
It
shit
could be
here.
shortages, man. Could be shortages. You never
That's
know.
my
Oh,
point.
yeah.
It's like it's already
Well,
It's gonna
happening
be a
here.
crisis, bro.
So like it's
Destabilized,
just
bro.
gonna happen again. That's what I mean. Like so they're making it harder for everything,
well,
which
it's happening. It's not going to happen again because the reason why we went on a
oh
shortage
no,
with
it
anything
happened
before is because
again.
people overbought, people overpurchased,
It was good
and then
last
the
time.
supply chain was short. This time, the supply chain is cut off. It's being cut off. It's because the containers right now they're sending because so let me just put it this: China supplies. I really should wait for Stevie to get back here to say this, but he knows this shit too, and I'm sure you do too. China supplies the world 1/3 of the world's goods. You hear me, Stevie?
Yeah, I'm here.
China supplies the world one third of the world's goods, whether it's goods.
Well, that's
It's
just
not
because they're
probably
so
not produce.
cheap, and
But
everybody moved
listen,
there.
listen. The shipping containers per container, those big ass shipping containers that you could fit like a small store in, those shipping containers used to cost $3,000 to like $10,000 to ship. Now they cost $25,000 to
Yeah,
$35,000
they were
or
7,000, I
40,000,
believe. I think there was 7,000 before all this shit happened.
and now it's
And
like
they're like, now it's like, yeah,
$25,000
25,000, yeah.
to ship over, and that's
To
the
just ship
reason.
it over, not and then that's shipping it
And
back is a
honestly,
whole nother.
Yeah, but
to
that
me,
isn't
that's a
just because of
great thing.
COVID. Isn't that also like
It's inflation.
restriction?
It's
Isn't it
yes,
also the
yeah.
restrictions and everything that we've put on China and China put it back on us?
Trump did it first.
And then
Whatever,
yeah,
good.
we put restrictions and shit on them, and then they did it back on us. Is what I mean.
Well,
What I'm saying. So like it's like double the shit.
hey, good.
I'm just saying
Good.
it's not just because of COVID. It's also because we're a bunch of
No,
fucking
no, it's not
assholes.
anything to do with a virus, in my opinion.
Trump wanted to fucking endorse American-made products. You know,
Well, I wanted to bring
Right.
manufacturing back.
he wanted domestic-made products. That's what
And
that's what
that's
he wanted.
why our economy did better because people were funding stocks and they were, like they like we
But
were
then we shut
focusing
everything
more
down, and
on
then
doing
fucking
things here.
oh
It's like we were
fuck.
producing oil in Texas, we were doing all this shit. We were adding to our reserves like it was
We
good.
still are. We
There's
Now
still
we're
are.
now we're going into our reserves right now.
that's
We're
why
going
this
into
all
our reserves
happened.
to help other countries. What the
I
fuck?
all this happened
Stop.
because we started being successful on our own, and China wanted the power back. They were like, release the bat virus,
Yeah,
and and then they
yeah,
released the bat virus, and then they just kept producing shit over in China and kept supplying the world while everybody else shut the fuck down. And then they were like, yes, now you all need us.
yeah.
And
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
there you
it's
go. And it wasn't that bad,
the
fucker. I
bat
mean, maybe a lot of
virus.
people died. A lot of people died because of starvation and
I
because
call it
goods couldn't get to where they needed to be, and we don't even know about it. I guarantee. We don't
I
even know
call it
about it.
lung AIDS. COVID.
What?
Catch the lung AIDS.
The lung AIDS.
Yeah.
I had COVID. The first time I got COVID was a
Ah,
motherfucking nightmare. It was like
Listen,
the flu.
I don't even wear a fucking mask on calls anymore, man.
I don't
I
wear a
haven't worn a
mask at
mask
all
on
anymore.
calls
No.
for like a year. I feel like I'm fucking building up some sort of fucking Terminator body against this shit.
Yeah, good.
You have
Yeah.
to. You've
Well,
got
guess
to.
what, Steven? You take a lot of vitamins, don't you?
I lick bus windows on the public transit system. That's how I
It's
keep
good,
my
man.
immune system up.
We're not
Hey,
advertising that.
honestly, drink you're 30 years old, drink your water. Fucking don't take too many drugs or drink alcohol too much and you lick a couple bus windows, you'll be good, man.
Yeah,
You'll
see
be
that bus
good. You'll be
windows, dude.
the
That fucking
best.
work every time.
You'll be the
You
best.
and as long as and you can even eradicate pink eye if you have people fart on your face enough.
You
Yep.
know what? I know a lot of guys at 24-hour fitness that will
Attest to
a-
that.
attest to that. And don't ask me why I know a lot of guys from 24-hour fitness.
I guess
Oh
Jesse goes
shit.
in the steam room a lot, where
I didn't want
everything
to,
goes.
Stevie. I didn't want to tell you, but your shit was
Fucking
just
say
peeling off the wall while you were talking.
Fucking say something. You just let me die if this
Well,
was a
you
fucking
you were
threatening
talking.
situation. Fuck.
Came in behind you, nobody said nothing.
you were talking, and
You're
I'm
an
like,
asshole.
it like peeled halfway off. It was like, and then you
It
were talking more, and it was like,
was like Sylvester Stallone
it finally
in
fell
that movie
off.
Cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, but more like Jim Carrey and fucking uh,
Ace
uh,
Ventura.
Ace Ventura.
When Nature Calls, isn't that the one?
When nature
Yeah, right.
calls. Yep. I said all that. Devin didn't say anything.
Next time I'll mute it and call you. Like, all right, so when nature calls, all right, so you get the credit for this. It's the one where he comes out of that rhino's ass.
The rhino's ass.
Yeah.
Yo, honestly though, That's the sauna right there for his ass, being in an electronic rhino. It's a good sauna.
Well, yeah, he got butt
Hot in
naked
these
in that son
rhinos.
bitch, and his fan broke.
He's like tapping it. Oh no!
He can't get the fuck out of the fucking door. That was my face.
You know what's hilarious? So initially, me and Devin wanted to start a podcast because we wanted to talk about movie reviews, and we'll get to that. We'll do movie reviews still, but it's hilarious how we just jump into
talking about
life is so crazy right now that there's no way you can't. You'll be a movie. You were a movie review critic for 10 years, and now you're talking about COVID on your movie reviews. Like,
right, you're like
it's.
Hey, did you see that movie COVID 23?
Did you see that movie? Was it
Songbird?
Oh fuck!
Oh yeah,
Outbreak.
Songbird, bro. What the
Outbreak.
fuck, dude?
Yeah.
But what's going on in
what-
Australia? What's going on in Australia is
fucking-
fucking
Yeah.
is in Songbird, bro. It's kind of nuts. It's predictive programming, man.
Have you ever
Yeah,
watched the
but-
movie Zardoz? Just like we're doing.
Zardoz. We gotta cover that.
Yo,
Once you
Alex
you
Jones.
can only start doing the movie reviews when you get the two screens up, because that's when it's really gonna be
Alex
effective.
Jones started talking about it right after we did.
He did.
Funny.
Devin
what is
brought up Zardoz.
What's
Or
that?
Zardoz. It's a fucking movie from the 60s or 70s with, I think 70s, right? With Sean Connery.
I think it's the 60s.
60s, 67, I
it
think
might
is
have
what it
been
is.
70s, but I don't remember, dude.
I think it was 67.
But
It's
anyway,
an old
yeah.
ass movie.
Hey,
It's
what do you
like
guys
a-
think? What do you think of the climate summit? What do you think of the whole climate change shit?
Oh, I don't believe in it.
But what do you think its purpose is?
That's a quick response.
That's great.
I'm almost the same way. It's like, I don't know enough about it to talk about it, but I don't believe.
As soon as he said it, I don't believe in that.
I don't believe in it.
Man.
I don't believe in it.
It's gonna bring in this new world order, man. It's gonna bring it in.
New world.
You
that's
think the
gonna be
climate
it.
change is gonna bring this shit in?
I think it's gonna
on the
bring it.
shoulder
It's
of
gonna be
that
it's
little
gonna be
Swedish
multiple
girl.
things, but it's this climate shit is go. After hearing what Prince Charles said,
Greta
I think
Van
that
Fleet or
he's
whatever.
got. Yeah, I think
Hey, you remember
he's
hearing?
out of his norm going there and giving.
He looks
speech.
younger too, by the way. That guy looks like
Yeah.
he should be much
That's
older.
because
that
he
the one that
fucking
molested
drinks
little
baby
girls?
blood.
Supposedly, yeah,
Yeah.
He drinks baby blood too. Supposedly,
Adrenochrome.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
the Queen Latifah's the Q's.
They had a whole 2-liter of that when Alex Jones was on Flagrant 2. Adrenochrome.
I thought they had it was a 2-liter or a wine bottle.
I think it might have been a wine bottle.
Yeah, I think it was a wine bottle.
Oh my gosh.
2-liter of baby blood. He's like, it's baby blood, and Alex just like, it's baby blood.
Oh my God.
And then they were like, we gotta stop and actually say that it's not baby blood. It's all farce.
Yo,
This is
it
all-
was hilarious. But the fucking right after that, he was drinking actual whiskey, and he was saying this is just prop whiskey, and he was fucking drinking actual whiskey, like he was fucking swigging it.
So you're saying it
Was that the
baby
one
blood.
with the pizza?
Oh my god, I don't know. Oh, no.
Was that the one with the pizza? They had pizza brought in. They were eating pizza with it. They were fucking talking.
Oh, pizza,
Think so.
like talking about pedophilia, the
Yeah.
pedophilia pizza.
Yeah, they had
That's
cosmic
fucking
pizza.
Oh, great.
Cosmic
Now
pizza. They were
I don't
eating
know what to believe anymore.
Hey,
dude.
we just got an order of cosmic pizza here.
Oh my god.
Well, no, I don't know if they are eating cosmic
Bring it
pizza,
in, it's got
but
the
isn't,
logo on it.
It comes from Pizzagate. Like, what the fuck?
that's what I meant. Like, isn't that cosmic
Oh,
pizza,
man.
Pizzagate?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, down at the strip, if you made a pizza like a retro, like neon colored pizza gate, small shop down on the strip, you would make so much money.
Open it up. Bring out
Probably.
somebody from New York to
Just
make you
cheap-
pizza.
just
'cause you know
cheap.
you're gonna
No,
get a
just
better
cheap.
pizza from New York.
No, you don't even need to make it nice. You just make it shitty for everybody. Make some shitty
Oh,
pizza.
some gas station style pizza.
Charge $26 for a fucking medium
Easy.
You're good.
12
I could
inch
do this.
12-inch pizza.
I could do this tonight if you're selling gas
Yeah.
station style pizzas.
Oh my god, dude, this is ridiculous. Where the fuck are we right now in life? Where are we?
Trying to
What
sell
part of the
gas
Twilight
station
Zone?
pizzas on
Trying
the
to sell
on the strip. That's
off
what
of
I thought we
conspiracy
were.
theories.
You call it conspiracy pizza? You come in, we hit you
No,
with a
no,
theory and a
Pizzagate,
pizza.
motherfucker. No, Pizzagate. Call it
Ah
Pizzagate.
man,
People will not walk in that shit, man. People will fucking be pissed off.
yeah, you'd shot up probably.
Yeah.
Oh
Pizzagate
shit!
pizza.
It's almost my bedtime, boys.
30 minutes
All right,
until
man.
it's
Hey,
free.
yeah.
Yeah.
Take off whenever you gotta take off. You're the special guest. We appreciate you coming on for sure. It was fun.
Yeah, no, it was
It was a lot of
awesome,
fun,
man.
dude.
Dude,
Well,
I'd love to be on again
we
sometime.
can end this
Be
here.
cool.
You know.
I mean, we can keep going if you want, Devin. We can end it, or we can keep going. He can leave.
Well,
It doesn't matter to me. I'm good to go for more. If you want to end it, let's give it an end,
Yeah,
boy.
I'll let you guys close it out, but I appreciate everyone listening. We went over some good shit.
Fuck yeah.
Hope you guys don't think we're too crazy, but
I
you know,
appreciate you coming
research.
in.
Yeah,
Far more
research some of this
knowledgeable
shit
than me.
yourself, man. I mean, this shit's out there. Fucking, you got to go find it. You know, but I
Not
appreciate being
every.
on. You know,
Absolutely, brother.
I'll see you guys next time. But looking forward to working with you guys in the future, man. It'd be cool.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I'll see you.
Have a good
Love
one,
you,
everyone.
brother. See ya.
Bye.
And we're